Hello everyone, welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. It only took about 5 minutes to get ready. We're back for the Europa League and the Conference League 8 p.m. kickoffs. Plenty of games to come, of course. Kickoff for all the games in about 10 minutes' time. You probably wonder why we're on this screen, because I'm going to get the lineups up for each game, obviously. We haven't had a great deal of time to be able to get everything ready for this stream, so we'll go through the lineups for each game. Well, not each game, we're definitely not doing that. Each game that we're watching in just a moment's time. We'll just say hello to everybody in the chat. Welcome along, Kurt. Hope you're all good as always, mate. Good to see you. Hopefully, now it's the later games. We should see, of course, a couple of people from across the pond joining us. Hopefully, we can have Tubbs in a bit as well. But let's go on and get ready for these games. We'll talk about the matches that we're all covering tonight. And joining us first, who should we go for first? We'll bring in Rowan. How are we doing, Rowan? Welcome along to the stream. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thank you. How are you?
I just had to pick you for the awkward time in there.
No, I mean, so I've just seen the private chat. No, I'm just eating Parma ham. That's my snack of choice for this evening.
And hopefully, you get two pretty good games tonight. Obviously, we had the games earlier, West Ham and the Slavia game, two very good ones. Yeah. First match you're covering, Monaco against Graz.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to zoom this in quite far in so you can actually see the lineups.
I'll tell you, as a big Graz fan, no. But I think, if anything, you look at the Monaco side, Alexander Nubel in there, Aguilar, Marapan, Pavlovic, Jacob. Is that Ismaila from Cologne? Yes. Matazo, Tuchemeni, Gus Martins, then big Kevin Volums, Ayador, or Isidore, can't say. It's an S or an A.
Isidore, yeah, spot on.
And then Crepin Diatta up front. I don't know, Josh, I'll be honest, I haven't had time to do my research. How have Monaco been doing in the league?
As far as I'm aware, I think Monaco haven't had a great start. They looked a bit iffy in certain areas. I think they lost to Marseille a couple of days ago. So I think they're down at the bottom end of the table. Yeah, 16th. Only won one game. So not a great start in the league.
But on the other hand, you've got Graz second in the league. They are already 7 points behind Salzburg, with Salzburg unbeaten so far. The team for Sturm Graz, it's Siebenhandel in net, Athenegruber, Vutric, Dante, Gazabegovic, Stankovic, Hayalander, Kitishvele, Lubik, Yaboa. Is that your Yaboa? So, yeah. And actually, there's so many Yaboas. Is it Kwame? Western Sydney Wanderers.
Kelvin, there you go.
Not my Yaboa. Oh, got the game on here. I can see Yaboa, I can't. I can actually see Yaboa, maybe. Is that Mirror? Oh, it's Fabregas. But yeah, it should be a good game. Monaco should win this. You would say they're the favourites to go in, but Sturm Graz, they're normally the second best team in the league. Maybe add Wolfsberger into that as well. But yeah, I'm Rapid Vienna. And Lask, actually. The Austrian League's got quite a couple of decent teams. The other game I cover, obviously, Frankfurt, Fenerbahce. Frankfurt, again, really, I don't want to say like a poor start to the season from them, but I don't know. I think, obviously, they lost their striker. They lost their main man that brought the goal, sat 15th in the league. But they're starting Netherlands. He's Kevin dropping there. Danny De Costa, I know Kieren quite like. He loves his fullbacks, doesn't he? From Mines also. Hinteregger, big Evan Ndicka. We all back Evan Ndicka. Eric Durm, then it's Daichi Kamada, Dijubro Sal, Jakic, Kostic, and then Rafael Santos Bore and Sam Lammers, who they signed on deadline day. As for Fenerbahce, is Bayandir in there, Aziz Kim and Atalia Shalai, and then it's Yandos Luis Gustavo Cadigolu, is that Bright Sai Samuel, and then Jose Valencia and Mesut Özil. Arsenal legend.
I was going to say it's quite attacking from Fenerbahce.
Yeah, very attacking. Is that also Mesut Özil? Is that Enner Valencia?
Yeah, is Enner Valencia, and then Diego Rossi, who just signed
from LAFC.
LAFC.
So it's actually quite a decent front three. I mean, you look at that team. I feel like this again a very even game. If anything, I don't know who you put as the favourite because Frankfurt have had a poor start to the season, but they've got a good team. Whereas Fenerbahce have got a decent team as well. I'm just looking to see where they are in the league. Third in the league, but the joint top. Well, not joint, obviously goal difference, but the top four are all on 10 points, so they're all very even there. I feel like, again, I think I've got an even game sat in this one. like I had with obviously Slavia Union, and then you've got maybe a favourite in the Monaco Sturmgrass, but anything can happen.
Anything can happen indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. There's the two games Rowan's going to do tonight. We're going to do it like what we did before. We'll go back to the usual system. We'll bring Rowan and KD in and out because there's 3 of us now, so it's a bit more easier. We've got 6 games to cover, so we'll go over to KD's games in a moment. But very quickly, Carl's in the building. How doing, Carl? Long time no see, my friend. Of course, coming back for the later games. But we'll go on to KD's games now. We've had a switcheroony. We realised there's a certain player on the pitch in this game. Mr. KD, Daka Watch is on Leicester Napoli.
Oh, I can't wait.
Should be a good one. In terms of the lineups, 4-3-3 for Leicester City. Schmeichel is in goal. Left back Bertrand, Johnny Evans, Vestergaard and Castagna there, the back 4. It's Boubacar Samare and Didier Perez in midfield. Up front, it's Daka, Iheanacho and Barnes. In a front 3 should be very tasty indeed. And then look at this team. What a team that Napoli have got these days. David Ospina in goal. Di Lorenzo, Koulibaly, Rahmani and Malqui are at the back. Midfield 3, Zielinski, Fabian Ruiz and the new signing from Fulham, Zambo Anguissa is in midfield. Up front, Insigne, Lozano on the wings, Osimhen up top. 2 very class sides. This, I don't obviously hype it up too much just in case it doesn't live up to the expectations, but this could have easily been a Champions League clash.
Yeah, I think if things had gone differently for both sides last season, you could probably be saying that. But, I mean, if you're looking at this game on paper in going off the couple of games that we've had in the league for both sides, Napoli, flawless, 3 out of 3 wins, and Leicester, of course, not really been at their very best. Managed to pick up 2 wins, of course, and a respectable loss against Man City. But it's a good game on paper. I'm hoping for more goals than yesterday. I'm not going to lie.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, you get more than one. And the other game, of course, which might also bring a couple of goals itself, PSV Real Sociedad. This could be a very interesting game as well, looking at the teams. PSV Eindhoven 4-3-3 for them tonight. Drommel is in goal. Back 4 of Philip Max, Obispo, Ramalho and Muene. Midfield 3 Bascali, Mario Götze and Marco van Hinkel. And then up top for PSV Eindhoven is Cody Gakpo. You've got Aaron Zahavi at the front of the line and Noni Madueke as well. Quite a strong front 3 for PSV Eindhoven in their game. And then for Real Sociedad, David Silva was on, but he's actually out, as it's just been confirmed on your screen. 4-4-2 tonight for Sociedad. Ramiro is in goal. Back 4 of Munoz, Lenormand, Elostondo and Zaldua. Midfield 4 of Guevara, who's just coming for David Silva. Marino, Zubamendi and Januzaj. And then up top, Isaac Oyarzabal. 2 interesting teams on paper. PSV Eindhoven had a good run last season, knocked out by Olympiacos. Sociedad had a good run last season, knocked out by Manchester United. What's the expectations in this game? Because it's a tough one to call.
I think when I saw this game come out, I was like, this is the game that my eyes are gravitated towards just because of the start to the season both these sides have had. They're both, of course, Real Sociedad have only lost 1 game and won the others. Lost to Barcelona, which is quite expected. But PSV in Eredivisie, 4 wins out of 4. They've looked really good in the qualifying phases for the Champions League. They got a little bit unlucky against Benfica, knocked them out, but it's a very strong side and it's an exciting team to watch. Of course, so many young players in there, and of course, Aaron Zahavi.
The big man, hopefully, can bag. He bagged a couple last season in the Europa League. Thank you very much, Kieren. They are the 2 games that KD's going to be covering tonight, and that are those 2 games. I will go through the lineups of the Roma match and the Rangers match. Roma has already kicked off. Rangers just a little bit behind. Once again, I will say, actually, because I forgot to in the last stream, if you are watching long, try not to spoil anything in the chat. Everybody might be a little bit behind actual live TV coverage. So thank you very much. Don't want anything spoiled in the chat. But as I said, we are underway. 12 games tonight in comparison to the 16 that we had earlier on, so it shouldn't be as hectic. I'm saying that, but it all depends on the amount of goals that go flying into the back of the net. So we are underway. As I said, the other games tonight, obviously Rangers against Olympique Lyon. I'm going to be doing that game now. Should be a fun match to watch if it lives up to the hype that Betis Celtic had. Obviously, PSV Real Sociedad is the game that KD is going to cover. Leicester City Napoli is going to be covered by KD as well, and then Rowan is covering Frankfurt, Fenerbahce, and then I've got the Roma Sofia game, which is from the Conference League. We'll talk about that at some point a little bit later on, because I think there could be a few goals in that one. In terms of the other games, obviously Monaco Sturm Rowan is covering that one. We've got Olympiacos against Royal Antwerp. Interesting game on paper. Antwerp only just making it through to the Europa League on a penalty shootout. in qualification rounds. Brøndby against Sparta Prague. That could be a cagey game. Bodo Glimt, this is in the Conference League now, against Zoya Luhansk of Ukraine. Anafosis against Partizan, massive game. Jablonec against Cluj. Two sides that have been in European football quite a bit, actually, over the last couple of years. Obviously, Cluj, one of the more recognisable sides tonight in the big games. And then the most recognisable, apart from Roma, Azad Alkmaar against Randers. That's the other one in the Conference League tonight. So 12 games, hopefully plenty of goals. And the main match of the evening is going to be Rangers against Lyon. And to quickly talk through the lineups for this game, to go for it, Rangers tonight starting with a 4-3-3. Alan McGregor is in goal, back four of Barisic, Balogun, Galton and Tavernier. Midfield three, Kamara, Davies and Lundstrom. And then up top, Ryan Kent on the left, Joe Reba on the right, Alfredo Morelos is up top. 4-3-3 as well for Lyon tonight. Lopez is in goal, back four of Emerson, Jason Denaire, the naughty Jerome Boateng, who should be in a prison cell. Gusio at right back. Midfield three, Hussam Aouar, Gimaresh and Kakare. And then up top, Tokwi Kambi on the left, Lucas Paqueta on the right. And the big man, Islam Slimani, is up top potentially was once of Manchester United. That move, of course, never happened. But that is the Rangers-Lyon game. As I said, we are covering another game tonight in the Conference League as well. The biggest team of the night, CSKA-Sofia. They're against Rangers. Not Rangers, Roma. That game, of course, Roma coming out tonight with, I've got to say, a fairly strong team. Patricio's in goal, 4-2-3-1 for Roma tonight. California on the left-hand side, Karsdorp on the right, Mancini and Swan as the two centre-backs. Gonzalo Villar and Diawara as the two midfielders. Faroni and Perez as the two wide midfielders. Faroni is a young player. Pellegrini as the number 10. And then Shodomadov is up top. So good chance there for Shodomadov, who just recently signed for 17 million quid from Genoa. Not a cheap transfer, but a very good player overall. Let's go over to Rowan for the first chance of the night. Who's it for, Rowan?
It's for Monaco, and it was Martins who actually, first of all, got the ball on the right side, lays it off to Ismail Jakobs, who puts a lovely lofting ball in, and it was Isidore who just jumps up high, wins the header, well, he just narrowly puts it over the crossbar. I mean, Frankfurt took a while to get over, but a good start. Monaco looked firmly in control again, but an early chance for Isidore there to put Monaco 1-0 up.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Could have been 1-0 early days. As I said, we're going to go back to this way for now. Rowan and KD with us tonight. Hopefully, we should have KL and Will joining us in a couple of weeks for the second match day. Maybe the third. It depends on how things go, of course, over the next few weeks. But Daz is in the building. Welcome back, Daz. So you're good as always. Just put Leicester and Rangers both to win 3-0. Big predictions. I mean, that Leicester one is an interesting one because I think Napoli, they can't be taken lightly. You know, probably will be a favourite to win this competition, I guess you could say. But Leicester 3-0 would be quite a shocking result if that was to happen on the night. But you never know. It can bring up a few surprises in the Europa League. But quickly going over some of the other games tonight from the Europa League that aren't being covered. There's two of them. Brøndby against Sparta Prague is the first one. And we'll talk about that in a second, actually, because there has been a chance in one of KD's games. I mean, there's a prediction tonight, KD, from Daz. Leicester's going to win 3-0. Have they had that chance to start the game?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. They've been the second best team, but they've just had a massive chance. It's an important save by Ospina. The first real time Leicester have broke forward, it was Perez into the box, managed to try to jink his way past Koulibaly, pull the ball back for Daka, who on the turn tried to swivel it to Harvey Barnes, manages to get the pass off somehow, and Harvey Barnes just hits it straight at the goalkeeper from a close angle. It was a tight angle to score from, but it's Leicester's best chance of the game so far. They have got a corner now. But yes, still 0-0, and Leicester, there's going to be a break in play, I think, so Ospina's down.
Thank you very much, KD. 0-0 still between Leicester City and Napoli. The dedication from KD goes to work and then comes to watch the Europa League legend. And then, of course, Rowan as well. We've been at it for, 4 hours now nearly? I think 3 hours, maybe a little bit more than that. We're here till, 10 o'clock tonight, I think? So we've got quite a bit of time until we are all done and dusted for this evening. But yeah, going back to the other games as well. As I said, 2 Europa League games not being covered by us tonight. I would have if I could have put 4 on. There is an option that allows me to put 4 games on, but it won't allow me right now. It's only letting me put 2. One of them is Olympiacos against Royal Antwerp. I'm just looking at the teams, because obviously Olympiacos, we know, over the last couple of years, they have been a side that always seem to get into the Europa League or the Champions League. And they're an absolute menace. They're Arsenal's worst nightmare. And luckily enough for Arsenal, they're not in the competition this season, so Olympiacos can't beat them. But they're up against Royal Antwerp tonight. As I said earlier, they came through courtesy of a penalty shootout win. I think it was against Ammonia Nicosia in the qualification sections of the game. So big game tonight, actually, for both of those teams. But we're going back to KD, obviously. Rowan and KD and myself got 2 games tonight, so plenty of opportunities between the 6 matches. Who's the opportunity for this time, Kieren?
Yeah, PSV absolutely dominating Sociedad at the moment, and it's a chance for Aaron Zahavi. We talked about him before the match, and the first time he's really got involved in the game. Nice little move between Cody Gakpo, then a dummy, I think it was from Van Ginkel as the corner comes, it's headed away by Van Ginkel in there, and Aaron Zahavi just takes the shot on the turn for about 25 yards and forces a really good save from Romero. So game starting to hot up a bit, but PSV dominant in the opening 8 minutes of the game.
Thank you very much, KD. 0-0 between PSV and Real Sociedad. Really good game on paper, that. I mean, as we said before, PSV, aside that... Oh, nearly knocked my camera over. That'd been a great start. PSV, great side. Made it to the latter stage of the competition last season in that absolute belter against Olympiacos. The game that I had, I think it was Ahmed Hassan with a last-minute winner to send Olympiacos through. So they'll be open again, PSV, this season. They can go far in the competition. But we're going over to KD because there's been an early goal. First goal of the night. Who's it for?
Oh, we've equalled the total that I had yesterday, Josh, and it's Leicester. They've taken the lead at the King Power against Napoli, and it's a really good goal. It's a nice little 1-2 between Barnes and Daka to get Harvey Barnes off down the left-hand side, puts a lovely ball in, float into the back stick, and Ayoze Perez on the volley hits it hard. Ospina, nothing he can do as he parries it into the back of the net. But it's Napoli who gave the ball away. A long ball from Koulibaly was easily headed away by Bertrand, and then a simple 1-2 between Barnes and Daka. Really good ball in from Barnes. Backstick, Ayoze Perez, nobody marking him. It's 1-0 Leicester.
Thank you very much, KD. We've had a goal in the Conference League, and it's a big one. Roma are 1-0 down to CSKA-Sofia, and it is an absolutely class finish. I think he's called Kearney. It's not Tom Kearney from Fulham. It's a different Kearney. But either way, he's put the ball in the back of the net, and this is a absolutely brilliant strike. And he's very... it's El Shaarawy who gives the ball away in his attacking half of play. Ball lofted in by one of the Sofia wingers, and it's just terrible defending at the back from Roma. Mancini and Smalling switch off. In fact, Mancini's nutmegged in the process of the goal. Kearney takes the shot on at the near post, puts it in the back of the net, and it's not going to be as plain sailing as Roma think tonight, because Mourinho's Roma are 1-0 down to an absolutely class finish. And that's the perfect way to start Sofia's night in the Conference League. The fans absolutely going crazy, as you would expect them to when they're coming up against one of the biggest sides in Europe. But that is the first goal of the night in the Conference League for the 8 p.m. kickoffs. 1-0 to CSKA-Sofia in that game. And then, of course, as we said before with KD, Leicester City 1-0 up to the good against Napoli. I did think for a second it was going to be maybe Patson Daka who'd got a goal after 10 minutes, but unfortunately not. It's Ayoze Perez who gets the goal, and Leicester City are 1-0 up. And Daz, you were saying 3-0 potentially for Leicester, so your prediction's on at the very least. He did ask as well, is Vardy playing tonight? No, he's not on the. He's on bench, which is exactly what Kyle said. So thank you very much, Kyle. Vardy not in the team tonight. Big chance though for Roma. Very lively start to this game, and El Shaarawy could have made up for his mistake with a near post header. It was a ball on the right hand side of the pitch. Karsdorp, the right back, sees El Shaarawy in the box, and well, I mean, I know politely El Shaarawy's not going to be the tallest player on the pitch and maybe not one to head the ball in the back of the net, but it is a real miss. And Shomadov with his hands on his head, because he probably knows if he's in that situation, he would have probably put it in the back of the net. But could have been 1-1, still 1-0 to CSKA-Sofia. And a very, very good start to the night for Sofia, who will be hoping they can pull off the big shock, I guess you could say, of the Conference League early days. Of course, we did have a couple of big shocks earlier on this afternoon with the 5:55 p.m. kickoff. So you will have seen, of course, Stade Rennes getting a 2-2 draw against Tottenham in that game earlier on, which we spoke about. A pretty good game, if I say so myself. 2-2 in that match. We nearly had a shot with Ferencváros as well, who were leading by Leverkusen for quite some time. Galatasaray beating Lazio, I think, is a bit of a surprise to some people. And then Moscow as well, who were down to 10 men, let's not forget. Very, very good performance from them to get themselves a goal back in that match. So plenty of action from the early games, and hopefully plenty of action in our main game tonight, which is going to be Rangers against Lyon. We're about 10 minutes into it, and so far, not really much to talk about, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's been a very iffy game. Rangers not done much so far. They've had the only shot of the game, as you would expect. Lyon just dominating possession a little bit more in this match. But Rangers going to come forward here. It's going to be Tavernier, who's down on the right-hand side. We know what he brought to Rangers last season. Incredible player. Former Rotherham man as well. So I do like to back him when he's on the pitch. Complete contrast to the player that he was at Rotherham, because he's actually good now. So it's a bit of a shame, because he's a quality player. I mean, we definitely like someone in our side. But he's come down the right-hand side and he's given the ball away, unfortunately. But we're going to go over to Rowan. It's not a goal, it's a chance. But I saw his reaction. It was the shocked face of surprise. Who's it for, Rowan?
It's a goal. It's a goal for Fenerbahce. No, it's not. It's not a goal. But it was a chance. And there was a lot of chances going in there. Fenerbahce have started this game off as the better side, 100%. Frankfurt have looked probably out there. I think this is going to be checked. But there was an overhead kick. So there was an overhead kick in the box, but I think it was Yandas. That was then blocked. Ozil goes for the shot. Blocked. Then I think he goes for another shot. It hits the post. I think Rossi put it in the back of the net. I think that's Rossi. I can't see who it is who put it in the back of the net. I'm just trying to keep my eye. The initial shot hit the post, and it was Mesut Ozil who was on the rebound. I think he's onside there, Ozil. They're obviously cheap on checking this. So the initial shot was from Rossi. It was a save. But I think it's either a save by Trapper, it's come post angle, doesn't do it any justice. Here we go. I think when the pass is made, I think Ozil is offside. It will be checked, but it looks like he is offside. I'll let you know. But there's a dangerous free kick, and we know we love a dangerous free kick.
We do indeed, but he's going to have to wait, because there could be a red card in this Rangers game. It looks like Connor Goldson, he's going to get a yellow card. It was being checked by VAR for a red card. Connor Goldson with a really meaty foul on Toko Ekambi. In fact, I'm very surprised this hasn't been given as a red card. But in the end, I think Connor Goldson being let off after 15 minutes, only a yellow card for him. But we will go over to Kieren now. No, we won't go over to Kieren now. He says, don't bring me in. Yeah, the free kick hasn't actually gone in. But Rowan says the goal has stood. So Fenerbahce, as I like to pronounce them, are 1-0 up against Eintracht Frankfurt. And we said before at the beginning of the stream, obviously, Frankfurt not having the best of starts in the Bundesliga, aren't having the best of starts in the Europa League either. And they are 1-0 down to Fenerbahce. Ozil is onside. And a very, very good start for the Turkish fans, who will be in pure delirium at that goal. So we are now about 15 minutes into our 12 matches of the night. If you are new, don't forget to leave a like, subscription. If you are new to the channel, as always. Only goals so far in tonight's action. Leicester City 1-0 up against Napoli. Goal from Jose Perez in that game. There was a goal a moment ago from Fenerbahce against Eintracht Frankfurt. Only just onside, Rowan said, with that goal as well. CSKA-Sofia, potentially the shock of the night, this one, in the 8 p.m. kickoffs at the very least. They're 1-0 up against Roma and looking very good, if I say so myself, with the start of this game. And apart from that, that is the only set of goals that we've got, unless I look back now and see a goal, which I don't see any goals. And I have actually forgot, there is another game going on that I completely didn't even acknowledge earlier. Brøndby Sparta Prague, which is the third game that's going on that we're not doing, of course. So there is a couple of interesting games going on tonight in the Europa League. But 0-0 as it stands, and a chance here for Lyon to come forward. Obviously, could have been down to 10 men Rangers here with that potential red card to Goldson. And it was a long ball up, to Rangers, not Lyon. It was Borna Barisic on the left wing. He tries to feed a really heavily weighted cross towards Alfredo Morelos in the middle of the box. And unfortunately, the pass was just a little bit too heavy. And in the end, it's going to be a simple just catch for Anthony Lopez, who's got the ball, but there's a long ball up here to Islam Samani. I think he's offside. And he is offside indeed. So Islam Samani won't have a chance to go through on goal and maybe get that opening goal of the night. And just looking back at the replays, quite blatantly offside, and no need for the play. In fact, no, sorry, he's not offside. Looking at that, I think he times his run perfectly. I'm saying that he's quite blatantly offside. He's definitely not. From the angle that they showed, it looked like it. But straight on, I think he's actually been harshly done by there, Islam Slimani. But either way, it's going to be a free kick for Rangers in their own half of play. And so far, it's not really good. Although there's a long ball up here towards Ryan Kent. Desperate defending at the back from Jerome Boateng, who I think this is his first game as a Lyon player, if I'm correct. Ball up from Barisic into the box, comes towards Morelos, who goes in with a really, really high header, but just doesn't get anything on it. Still a chance to come forward. Tavernier's got the ball back. And in the end, the ball's going to have play for a throw, and in the attacking half, a play for Rangers. And as you would expect, those Rangers fans going wild, trying to egg on their team to get the opening goal of this match. Just want to quickly say about the Roma game as well. Roma with another chance to equalise against CSKA-Sofia. Shormadov and Perez this time linking up to try and get the goal. And unfortunately, nothing coming of it. So still 1-0 to CSKA-Sofia in that match. No other goals yet in the Conference League in the rest of the games. So 0-0 across the board, apart from that Roma match in the Europa Conference League. Let's hope we get a couple more goals soon as the night continues on. But Rangers Lyon, 0-0 as it stands. Nice to see the fans back in Ibrox again after last season, obviously, when they were in the Europa League and they made it to the latter end. It was a real shame to not have those fans back in the stadium, or at least this many fans as there are now. Obviously, I think when they played Slavia, there were a few Slavia fans there, but I don't think there was any Rangers fans, if I'm correct. But either way, Rangers going to have to defend here. Chance for Lyon to come forward. Slimani at the edge of his box. Going to play it back into Hussam Aouar, a player who could have easily not been at Lyon. Had a few clubs he was linked to on deadline day, but didn't move. Here he's on the ball now, trying to make something work. Got Toko Ekambi on his left-hand side. He can play the ball too, which he does now. Toko Ekambi needs somebody to come towards him, and does. And there's a foul on Kakare. Free kick for Lyon in quite a decent position, this. And it's Stephen Davies who's giving it away. And just maybe a chance for Lyon to get the scoring opening here with a free kick from a fairly decent position, about 20, 25 yards out. So could be an opportunity for Lyon as we are about to reach the 20th minute in the majority of tonight's games. Just the 3 goals to talk about so far. It's been fairly quiet in comparison to the 5:55 p.m. kickoffs. But we could have an extra goal here if Lyon can hit this free kick. They've got plenty of people looking at this free kick wanting to take it. But it looks like there's only going to be one man over this. And I think it's Lucas Paqueta. I mean, Aouar stood over it as well. So we'll see what happens here when the free kick is taken. Can't really see who it is from the far angle. And, well, it's a really poor free kick. Hits the wall and, unfortunately, nothing comes from it. So we can go from that to a chance from KD. Who's the chance been for?
It's a chance for Napoli, and I'm not going to lie, Osimhen should be really doing better with this. Sambo Anguissa nicks it back off Ndidi in the middle of the park. And I think it's Insigne plays a quick pass to Osimhen, who's pretty much one-on-one with Schmeichel from about 20 yards out or on the left-hand side of the penalty area. And he just whacks the shot and it flees cannons off his other foot and goes out of play. And, of course, Ndidi's got his gamely yellow card that he normally gets for absolutely clattering Anguissa in the run-up to that attempt. But it's got to be better from Osimhen. He did have an attempt earlier in the game that was saved well by Schmeichel, but it was a save that you expect Schmeichel to make. But a very, very good start to this game for both sides. I'm not going to lie, Napoli, of course, need to be a little bit better in front of goal, but they've not been bad by any sense of the imagination.
Thank you very much, Katie. 1-0 still to Leicester against Napoli. Let's go over to Rowan now because there's been a chance in one of his games. No, he's waving. Yes, kind of.
Well, it was I thought it was a good chance. It was a good ball in behind, and Daj Kamada got onto the end of it. And Bindier had to make 7. Then on the rebound, I think it was Sam Lammers went for it. It was another good save by Bindier. Turns out Daj Kamada was miles off. He was miles offside. But Fenerbahce have been all over Frankfurt. It's been a proper domination. As for Monaco Sturm Graz, it's been Monaco Sturm Graz. It's been a bit there.
Hopefully we can get some goals soon. I think it's been a little bit quiet over the rest of the games. Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-0 to Fenerbahce, still 0-0 between Monaco and Sturm Graz. It could be a chance here in the Roma game Ball lofted into the box from El Shawari. Tries to get it towards Carlos Perez. And Chris Smalling, who's in the box as well at the near post. Smalling goes for it, but doesn't get the touch in the end. And it will go out of play for a goal kick, I think. And a chance there for Chris Smalling to get on the score sheet. Hasn't had many games so far for Roma this season. Of course, I think Roma's backline now looking a little bit different to what it did a few years ago. I think, obviously, Fazio's left. He's not there anymore. Smalling doesn't really play as much. So, fairly different to what it was 2 or 3 years ago. But, yeah, unfortunately, the chance for Smalling goes wide of the mark. And we can go back to the Rangers game as Benala's joined us in the chat. Welcome along, mate. He's put Turkish teams performing well today so far. They are indeed. Very good day for them. I think even Besiktas played all right against Dortmund on that game on Tuesday. But in terms of the performances for the Turkish teams in the Europa League, obviously Galatasaray getting a big 1-0 win against Lazio is a very good result for them. And obviously Fenerbahce 1-0 up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Chance, though, maybe for Rangers as Ryan Kent bombs forward for the home side, lays the ball to Borna Barisic. He's going to pass it back into the middle. Joe Reba into Glenn Kamara. Back to Barisic on the left wing here. Could be a chance. And I think they're just going to slow it down here, Rangers. And doesn't look like anything's going to come of it, unfortunately. And obviously the Rangers fans, they'll demand that they try and get something in this game. They don't want to see their team sit back and try and defend. And obviously Gerrard, and the way that he's coached this team, they've always been a team that can score goals. But not yet. As we are about 22 minutes in, there is still no goals. Lyon going to come forward this time. It's Toko Ekambi on the left-hand side, the Cameroonian. Goes for a long-range effort, and it's a brilliant goal from Toko Ekambi from about 30 yards out. It's the first real screamer of the season, I think you'd have to say, from what I've seen at the very least. And that is sheer class from Toko Ekambi. The way he curls this ball into the back of the net, it's real top-class finishing from a player who's been brilliant since signing for Lyon. He's given all the time and the space in the world. And Davis, he backs and he keeps backing and he backs off him and he allows Toko Ekambi the space to take the shot on. And of course, as you would expect him, he curls the ball into the back of the net. And we have an Ibrox Park screamer just for the opposite team. And we got another goal as well in the other game because Roma have equalised. It's 1-1 in their game against CSKA-Sofia. Goal has come from, I'll just have a check very quickly. I think it's Pellegrini who's scored. So a goal in that game as well. So 1-1 to Roma, and it is also 1-0 to Lyon. Let's go over to KD, who's had a chance in his game. Who's it for, Kieren?
Yeah, it was for PSV, and you were talking about a screamer in your game. We almost had a really, really good goal from Madueke in this game. Cut inside onto his left foot and bent a peach pretty much right into the corner. It looked like it was going in all the way, and just at the last moment it flashes past the post. But PSV have been playing really well in this opening 25 minutes of the game. Sociedad haven't really got themselves in the game, but I'd like to say I'm just watching 2 very good, entertaining matches of football, which is all you can ask for, really.
Definitely is indeed. Thank you very much, KD. Good games by the sounds of it so far. 2 very good matches with 4 very good teams. Leicester Napoli, obviously Leicester 1-0 up, and PSV 0. Real Sociedad 0. As Benaldo says, wish I could have seen the Betis Celtic game. It was an absolute corker. That was the game that I had in the afternoon. 7-goal thriller. Wonder is Kyogo scores. He wasn't in the game. I said this before to Rowan. Obviously, I was wanting to see Furuhashi in that match. He wasn't on the pitch, and he wasn't even in the team. I'm guessing he was out injured, but wasn't in the side. Let's go over to KD, though. Another chance in one of his games. Who's it for this time?
I mean, I've just talked about Sociedad's pretty much toothless performance this game, and with their first shot, they've hit the crossbar. I have no idea who it was. I think it was Munoz who took the shot, and he absolutely cannoned off the crossbar, but it's a really good effort from about 25 yards out. Hits it with his right foot. It's just arrowing, looking like it's going to drop under the crossbar. Cannons off the crossbar behind. But Sociedad coming again, ball into the box. Januzaj goes down. And I think PSV should get this clear. Yeah, they have. But now it's beginning to be a little bit more evenly matched, this game. And that's going to be a foul, I think, by Munoz. I think that is. Or is that Lenormand? One of those two have committed a foul on Cody Gakpo. So we get a stoppage in play. But yeah, entertaining, hotting up in this game.
Thank you very much, KD. He's hotting up in one of the Conference League games as well. There's been a goal. Alkmaar have taken the lead, but what's that? There's been a goal straight from kickoff. It's 1-1. Randers have equalised literally right from kickoff. 1-1 in that game, 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. I'll find out who scored those goals while we talk to Rowan. He's had a chance in one of his games, so I'll quickly update on that on the screen. Who's had the chance in your match, Rowan?
He's in the Frankfurt-Fenerbahce, and Frankfurt came back again. I did wait, though, because I thought he was offside, and then I don't want to put chance because it was one of the longest chances I've ever seen. Kostic on the left-hand side, crossed it in. Lammers couldn't get onto it. It goes onto the other side. Ball gets crossed in. A shot. Bayendia has made 3 incredible world-class saves in the space of like 30 seconds. Just shots kept on coming. Bayendia was stopping it. The defence came at Aziz, were holding up really rigidly. Once people got back, Italia Shalada made a great stop. Another shot came in from Gibril Sau that eventually did go wide, but just a relentless pressure from Frankfurt. There's so many opportunities. Great goalkeeping from Bayendia, but it still is 1-0 to Fenerbahce as it stands.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-0 Fenerbahce. Benal's saying in the chat, feels weird supporting Roma, but they have my regards until our paths meet. Andiamo Giallorossi, of course, 1-1 in that game. And they says, I see you getting goals now, Josh. Honestly, the look I've had since we've started up again has been brilliant. I had 3 goals in Liverpool. I've had, I think it was 11 goals in the 2 games I was covering earlier. I think I had 10 or 11 goals yesterday in the Champions League matches. I'm very lucky right now. I seem to be on a hot streak with goals. But, just going to stop for a second. There might be a penalty shout here for Rangers in the Lyon game. Kent's gone down in the box, but the referee, he's made it clear. He's gone, no. He's put the arms out, and he's doing it very seriously as well. He's not doing it like, he's doing it with some excessive force. He looks like he's doing the West Ham sign. He has given no penalty to Rangers in that game. And, looks like Rangers are going to have to fight for the day to get something in that match. But let's go over to KD, chancing one of his games. I'm going to guess PSV match?
No, it's for Napoli this time, and they really should be doing better with this. That's 2 chances they've had now that they really should be at least getting on target. I'm not going to lie. Osimhen down the left-hand side has had Johnny Evans' pants down every time he's been up against him, as you would probably imagine his pace against the likes of Johnny Evans' legs. Probably we know who's going to win that match. But he blitzes down left-hand side, cuts back, and plays a lovely pass back to Kevin Malqui, who's just on the corner of the box coming in, and he, for some reason, decides to hit it first time and opens his foot up too much, and it balloons over the top. But if he decides to just put his foot through it, he probably gets on target or even scores. But Napoli have definitely been the better side since Leicester have gone ahead. But every time Leicester have counter-attacked, they look very dangerous. So I don't think this game's going to end 1-0. I've probably now jinxed it. But ball forward head away by Vestergaard. Picked up again by Osimhen, though, who shoots from far out, and that is an awful shot. Very, very high over the crossbar. Still 1-0.
Thank you very much, KD. All I'll say is I would not like to imagine Johnny Evans' pants down. That would be a very, very terrible thought. But it is 1-0 as it stands against Leicester City and Napoli. Still 0-0 in the other game Kieran's watching, which is PSV against Real Sociedad in that game. There was a big chance for Rangers to equalise in that match against Lyon. It was Joe Rebo. This time inside the box. He goes for a very similar finish to what Toki Kambi went for. Goes for the curling shot, gets it onto his stronger right foot, tries to curl it past Anthony Lopez. He gets down low, the Portuguese goalkeeper, makes a very, very good save. And Rangers there so nearly equalising in that match. Let's go over to Rowan, another chance. It's starting to lighten up across the 12 matches. Who's it for, Rowan?
Yeah, it's in this Monaco game, and the game sort of died down a little. Stimgras trying to find the feet, but then Gelson Martins absolutely sends the centre-back flying. Just outside the box, curl, it just hits the outside of the net and goes out for a goal kick. But one thing I want to say, Matazo and Tuchemeni, such a young midfield, are controlling it like the veterans of the game, having both of them, Tuchemeni and Matazo, having such a great game right now. I just want to highlight them. They're having a stunner.
Thank you very much, Ro. 0-0 between Monaco and Sturm Graz as it stands, and 1-0 to Fenerbahce against Eintracht Frankfurt. They're the 2 games that Rowan is covering tonight. We're half an hour into the Europa League 8 p.m. kickoffs. If you're new, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel if you're new. But there's been a goal in one of KD's games. Who's it for?
Yeah, finally, the deadlock is broken. PSV have made the first goal. It's a really good goal as well. Noni Madueke, excellent play. We know what he's about. Gets down the right-hand side really well. And as a shot, and it's a really good save. It's unfortunate, to be fair, for Alex Romero. Makes a great save from the cross. But who's there to tap it in, Josh? Mario Götze. 1-0 PSV.
Seems we love to see Mario Götze at the European echelons of football, the Europa League. Good to see him getting back on track, of course. had a few issues with health-wise, but he's got himself a goal. It's 1-0 to PSV. Yellow cards in the Monaco game. Ismail Jacobs going into the book, and that's what Rowan definitely doesn't want to see. Let's hope he doesn't get sent off. But this Rangers game is getting very intense. Islam Somali with a yellow card. Very feisty tackles starting to be played. And if you hadn't actually seen, I think there's been a lot of build-up to this Rangers-Lyon match. I don't know if anybody saw the picture online of the Lyon team bus was vandalised by Rangers fans with graffiti. They graffitied the entire team bus with Rangers artwork, which I think actually looked quite nice, to be honest with you. Maybe not on the Lyon team bus. So it has brought a little bit of a feisty edge to this game. But yeah, still 1-0 to Lyon. And wouldn't surprise me if there was a red card in this game. So if you're a betting man, maybe stick a quid on a red card in this one, because it is a feisty one. We're going to stop for a second because Morelos is in here. Plays the ball to Tavernier, who tries to whip the ball in. Blocked in the end by Jerome Boateng. And Lyon will get the ball back. So another chance that's gone there. In the Leicester game, Boubacar Samara has gone into the books. That's now 2 of the midfielders for Leicester who've got yellow cards. And DD getting, as KD said, his usual, I was going to say gamely. That's just a horrible word. Matt, I don't even know what the word is. Rowan's trying to scream it at me. In fact, doesn't matter because there's been a goal in one of the games anyway. Let's go over to KD. We'll skip over that and pretend it never happened. Who scored, KD?
Well, what a couple of minutes we've had in this game. It equaliser instantly for Real Sociedad, and it's Adnan Januzaj, who it was actually him who had the shot earlier that cannoned off the crossbar. A really good move, won it back in midfield, ball out to the wing. It's the first time I've actually seen this goal. Whip back in, and then Januzaj on the volley, cool as you like, side foots it past the goalkeeper. It's a lovely finish by Adnan Januzaj, the former Manchester United man. And it's 1-1 here, and I'm not going to lie, it's probably their best attempt of the game.
Thank you very much, KD. 1-1. Weekly. There's the word that we wanted. Weekly yellow card. 1-1 in that game between PSV and Real Sociedad. There's been a goal in one of the other games of the Conference League. This is turning out, it looks like to be the game of the night so far, because AZ Alkmaar have taken the lead again against Randers, 2-1 in that Conference League match. I'll find out who scored the goals in that game in just a moment's time as we update the screen with the scores. Obviously, 12 different games going on. It does get quite hectic. There's been a yellow card in the Napoli game. Di Lorenzo going into the book, playing his left back tonight rather than his usual right back role that he plays. But for those of you wondering, Jordi Classy, might remember that name, former Southampton man, got the first goal of the match. Piers Singer got the second goal, and then 7 minutes later, Pavlidis with the goal. So 2-1 to AZ Alkmaar in that game. And probably one of the more recognisable sides in terms of the games this evening, at the very least. There's a couple of smaller teams playing tonight in the Conference League, but AZ Alkmaar getting off to a very, very good start indeed. Let's go over to KD. It seems to be your night tonight, Kieren. Another chance. Who for? Well,
there's chances in both my games, and I don't know how Alexander Isak's not managed to score. It's a beautifully timed run from Adnan Januzaj. Long ball over the top, and it's timed to perfection. He's literally one-on-one with the goalkeeper, tries to chip the keeper for no reason at all. Doesn't have to do it. Just slot it past him. The keeper makes a good save. Falls to Isak, and he just kind of flicks his toe at it instead of actually trying to wrap his foot around the ball. It was Oyarzabal, actually, not Januzaj in the first place. Tries to flick his toe at it, and he puts it wide. But the actual original chance that you came to me for was for Napoli, Josh, who were knocking on the door at the end of this first half. It was Lorenzo Insigne going for one of those curlers, kind of similar to the one that he scored in the Euros in the summer. Went for one of those, and it just curled past the post. But Napoli looked good, even though they are losing 1-0, but they do look threatening every time they come forward.
Thank you very much, Kieren. It seems to be, thankfully for him tonight, role reversal. Chances galore, that's what he wants. Of course, yes, they only had one goal compared to me and Rowan having the all 27, probably, no doubt, that were scored. I think he had one goal, which was disallowed at first, and then he did get one in the end. But at least now he's had 3 goals, Kieren. Hopefully a couple more. 1-0 Leicester against Napoli, PSV 1. Real Sociedad 1 as it stands in that game. Bernardo celebrating Januzaj getting on the score sheet. Good to see Januzaj. Not often he's on the score sheet. But I'm going to stop for a second because Rangers coming forward here. Going to be an effort on the left-hand side. Borna Barisic going to drive forward. Might be able to whip this into the box. Takes on Toko Ekambi. Gets past him. But in the end, the ball's gone out of play for a goal kick. Going over to KD again, it's chances galore. Who's it for this time, Kieren?
It's for Napoli again, and they really should be equalising in this game. Osimhen has been absolutely electrifying in this first half. The corner does come in from him, and it's headed on and right to the back post. Zielinski picks up, puts it back in. It's going to be easily cleared by Evans. But the original chance was for that man Zielinski. And he got onto the end of Osimhen's cut back into the penalty area. And it was a goal-saving challenge from Castagna to block the ball. And then a combination of him and Schmeichel managed to smother it behind for the corner. But Napoli really banging on the door now.
Thank you very much, KD. 1-0 to Leicester still. We've had a goal in one of the other games tonight. It's in the Europa League this time. One of the games that we're not covering. Olympiacos have taken a 1-0 lead against Royal Antwerp. You remember me saying before, Olympiacos, of course, they're always in this competition. And guess who scored? I mean, this has been checked, by the way, by VAR, so it might not count. But there's only one man that seems to bag goals for Olympiacos. Mr. El Arabi, that's right. The overpowered Moroccan seems to bag goals. And talking about goals being bagged, Roma have taken the lead. It's 2-1. And the man who made the mistake for the first goal has rectified his mistake by scoring a brilliant finish. It's 2 goals in 2 games for Mr. Stefan El Sharawi. Brilliant, brilliant finish from the Italian winger. And I'll talk about that in a little moment. I'm going to check what's going on with the private chat. Have we had another chance in one of the games? Of course, KD predicting El Arabi. He was spot on with that. Mr. El Arabi scoring the goal. But going back to the Roma one for a second, it all starts just at the edge of the box. El Sharawi, he's in that position right in the middle where you're just thinking to yourself, he's got space, he's got time, shoot. He takes one touch and he curls the ball into the bottom left-hand corner. It's a brilliant finish from a player who scored an absolute wonder goal last week. If you're watching the Roma game in Serie A, which they played the previous match before, this was an unbelievable match against Sassuolo. But brilliant finish for El Sharawi. 2 goals in 2 games for him. And Roma have taken the lead for the first time. And as Roma take the lead, could have been 2-0 for Lyon as well. Big chance in the Lyon game. It comes on the right-hand side. It was Lucas Paqueta who pushes the ball forward. And it was a really poor opportunity, I have to say. I think it's for the number 17. I want to see who it is in the end. It's a really poor opportunity. I think it's... trying to see who it is off the top of my head. Guimaraes should have gone for the opportunity. Tries to kill it towards the bottom left-hand corner. It's not good in. But either way, there's been another goal. KD has got the goals tonight. Who scored?
Real Sociedad have completed the first half turnaround. It's 2-1 to them, and it's Alexander Isak. And by the way, Napoli have almost just scored again. The chances are flowing for me at the moment. Really good attempt by Insigne. I'll talk about that one first before I talk about the goal. Corner comes in, it just drops to him outside the edge of the area and just smacks it, and it just about goes wide. Napoli really banging on the door, as I've said a couple of times. But the goal for Sociedad, really good work from Mikel Moreno outside the box. Uses quick feet to get away from a few challenges. Passes out to Januzaj. Overlapping run by Zaldua. Pulls it back into the box, and Alexander Isak smacks it into an open net. It's a really well-worked goal by Sociedad. And to be fair, since I said that they needed to be a little bit more sharp in front of goal, they have been, and they've turned the game around, and PSV only have themselves to blame. 2-1 Sociedad.
Thank you very much, KD. Brilliant game in that one. Real Sociedad PSV, 3 goals in the first 45 minutes. It's living up to the hype of the Spanish teams today. I don't know what it is, but we've had plenty of goals across all the Spanish teams in the Europa League. I'm just going to say very quickly, Bernardo, might have been celebrating El Arabi. It's been disallowed. Back to 0-0 again. No goal for El Arabi. VAR's checked it, giving us offside in the end. So no goal, sadly, for Mr. El Arabi. But there was plenty of time for them to get a couple more in that game. We're into the last 5 minutes of first half action. It's starting to liven up if you're watching KD's games. 1-0 to Lyon against Rangers. PSV obviously 2-1 down to Real Sociedad now. Leicester 1-0 up against Napoli. Monaco 0, Sturm Graz 0. Fenerbahce 1-0 against Frankfurt. Roma 2, CSKA-Sofia 1. But I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going back to KD again. Another chance. Who's it for this time?
Well, it's for Napoli again. And it's for Osimhen again. They've somehow managed to recycle the ball after a pretty poor move. And it just comes to Zielinski, who pokes it to Osimhen, and he's just inside the penalty area. And he has to do better. And he just flings a foot at it instead of really trying to wrap his foot around it. A couple of players done that tonight. Osimhen being one, and he just cannons his shot over the crossbar, but he's so close to the goal. He has to do better. Napoli, I mean, they're knocking on the door. They'll be by far the better side in this half. They just can't put the ball in the back of the net.
See whether they can get a chance or not soon. Thank you very much, KD. Still 1-0 to Leicester against Napoli, and it could have been 1-1 between Rangers and Lyon. And it was Ryan Kent this time with a Toko Cambias shot takes one from outside the box, tries to curl it in. Good save from Anthony Lopez. There's a call for a penalty here. I think this might get checked by VAR when the ball goes out of play. I was going to say there's been another goal in the Conference League. Partizan have taken the lead against Anafosis, 1-0 in that game. But I think we might have a VAR check whenever the ball goes out of play. We'll have to see in a second. But KD's seen a yellow for Munoz in his Sociedad match. So 2-1 still there. But the Rangers fans might still be with a bit of an inquisition to whether this is a penalty or not. Ryan Kent have gone down in the box, and we'll have to see whether the ref gives it. But while we have that wait to see if it's a penalty or not, let's go over to KD and see what chance he's had. Who's it for?
Well, I feel bad for Rowan because he put it in first, but it was the first real chance of the game for Patson Daka, Josh. He gets it inside the penalty area, shoots on the swivel, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. But I had to come in because it was Daka.
Of course, Daka watches on. Thank you very much, KD. He put De Chancer. I don't know if he's trying to put that in German. Rowan, who's your chance for?
It's for Monaco. Sturmgras have actually done really well to defend, but Tuchemene whips a lovely lofted ball sort of to the back post. Crepin Diatta does really well, chests it back into the box. And then Kevin Volland just with the most sideways header I've ever seen, but Fenerbahce coming forward here. And Valencia shoots, and it takes a big deflection off Eric Durm. The Frankfurt Fenerbahce game has sort of evened up a little bit. Sturmgras are coming forward. Yeboah lays it off. It's a shot. It's in the crossbar. Oh, that was lovely from Sturmgras. That was lovely. It was Yeboah lays it off to, I think it was Yeboah lays it off to Highlander, who then lays it off to Ljubic, who just absolutely rattles it across the crossbar. That's an incredible shot. So close, goes out for a goal kick. And then on the other hand, Fenerbahce nearly just have got that corner, but Frankfurt Fenerbahce has come a lot more even, as Sturmgras have just defended really resiliently and gone with that counter-attacking goal. 2 minutes left in both, 5 minutes in one.
Thank you very much. 1-0 still to Fenerbahce and Monaco 0, Sturmgras 0 as it stands. We're getting towards half-time, or very nearly close to half-time, in the 8 p.m. kickoffs. Don't forget, if you're on here as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscription. We'll go through some of the content coming up on the channel in the next couple of days. But can we get any more goals before half-time? That's the question. Rangers still 1-0 down to Lyon as it stands in their match, which is the main game of the night. Obviously, Roma, my other game, 2-1 against CSKA-Sofia. We're not short of goals tonight, are we? We've already had 4 in the first half. But Rowan's had a goal himself. Who's it for?
It's for Frankfurt, and they've equalised up, and he was on the counter-attack. And it's a player who loves going down that wing. It's Filip Kostic. Lucky possibly was going to move in the summer. He eventually stayed down the left-hand side of the pitch, gets past one of the defenders, does really well, and then keeps his composure, squares it across to Sam Lammers, who I think possibly gets his first or second goal for Frankfurt since signing to them. They are going to check if he's onside. I think he's offside. It's a lovely ball over the top. Kostic does so well to keep it. Lovely first touch. Lays it straight into Sam Lammers, who puts it in the back of the net. 1-1 here in Frankfurt. Yeah, in Frankfurt.
Thank you very much, Rowan. God bless the person who made the mistake with the email for Kostic's move, because that could be a very big difference maker for the season ahead. We're going over to KD, because while there's been a goal, there's been 2 chances in his games. Who's they been for, Kieren?
Yeah, and it's 2 very good saves by Kasper Schmeichel. It's Napoli again, Josh. Really good move. And it's whipped in, and there's a shot that goes... It's a header, by... it's a header by Lozano, point blank, straight at Schmeichel, but it's a really good reaction save. And then the second one, it's recycled to the edge of the area. Fabian Rees, it's a low drive, and another good save by Schmeichel. But I'm pretty sure if you look at the stats for this game, you'll see one side with a lot of shots, maybe not on target, but there's a lot of attempts. They are banging on the door. Unfortunately, the door is still locked, though.
Unfortunately, it is locked for Napoli. Thank you very much, KD. 1-0 to Leicester against Napoli. We'll go through the stats and everything at half-time, as we always do. Obviously, 12 games going on tonight. We'll talk about the games in a little moment's time as we do reach half-time in some of the games. Going to stop for a second because Rangers, they nearly conceded again. Lyon all over them in the last couple of minutes. But PSV, Sociedad, half-time, 2-1 in that game. We'll talk to Kevin about that in a little bit, but that is looking like the game of the night potentially so far in the Europa League. Of course, Leicester-Napoli is probably quite close in terms of the performance levels of both sides. Really end-to-end football between the 4 teams in those 2 respective games. But it's half-time in that match. I'm very confused. Rowan's put, we've got a ball to the balls. Half-time, Monaco, Sturm Graz 0-0, 0-0, 0-2, nothing going on in that game. Monaco 0, Sturm Graz 0. We'll talk to Rowan about that game. Probably not much to talk about with the way it's sounded, but we'll talk to him a little bit about that one, as we said, when we get to half-time. We've got a minute left of additional time in the Roma CSKA-Sofia game, and we are at half-time of Rangers Lyon. It is 1-0 to Lyon at half-time. Feisty tackles, some pretty decent chances, but a moment of class to define these two sides. Toko Ekambi with probably the best goal of the night we will see against Rangers, and no doubt a very memorable goal for the Cameroonian, who has put his French side 1-0 to the good against Rangers. Half-time as well in Leicester City, Napoli, 1-0 in that game as it stands. Of course, plenty of opportunities, as KD has said. No doubt we'll talk about some of the plethora of opportunities which have happened in the next few minutes. Just looking across the board, half-time in Olympiacos Antwerp, half-time at Brøndby Sparta, still going in the Roma game. In fact, it's just at half-time now. Roma 2-1 to the good. We'll talk about that game a little bit more in just a moment's time. But that, I believe, should put every game at half-time. But there has been one chance before then, because Rowan has got a chance. Who for?
Yeah, well, the Frankfurt-Fenerbahce game kicked off a lot later, and it was in the box, and it was Djibril Sarr got it on the right side, tried to play across, good defending from Italia Shalai, and then it was Sam Lammers on the replay, tried to take shoot in, saved by Bayendia, and then on the thing, Daichi Kamada, they tried to put it in, they put it wide, an absolute scramble in the box, and we're just about to hit the 45th minute. We'll probably have a bit of out of time.
Thank you very much, Rowan. It is Frankfurt 1, Fenerbahce 1. That is the last game, as far as I'm aware, that is still going on. So while that game continues for a little bit longer, we'll talk about the other matches going on in the background that have reached half-time. First of all, let's talk about the Rangers-Lyon game, the main game of the night, as we said. Rangers 1-0 down to Lyon as it stands. And it's been quite a interesting game, this one, because Rangers are well and truly in this. In fact, I would say, apart from that Toko Ekambi wonder goal, they've had the better of the chances. Aribo and Kent with two very good opportunities, which have been saved really well by Anthony Lopez. And looking at the stats of the game, Rangers 47% possession to Lyon's 53%, but they've had more opportunities in the game. 2 shots on target, with 6 shots overall for Rangers. 4 shots in the match with 1 on target for Lyon. So they're in it. And I think the fans, as this game goes on, if it's still 1-0, they will be pushing more and more for a Rangers equaliser. But it will stay 1-0 as it stands to Lyon from a moment of sheer class. And then, as we said, of course, the other game, which has been a very eventful game, actually, a really good game. Roma 2, CSKA-Sofia 1. And it was Carey which scored the first goal of the game. Not Kenny Carey, there we go. Graham Carey, I think it was. I'm going to have to search where Graham Carey's from, because I feel like it's to be an interesting story to find out where this guy's from. But he got the first goal of the day. It was a brilliant finish from him. And the Irishman, who I'm looking now, he's 32 years of age, former Plymouth Argyle man. So he joined them literally 2 seasons ago. The former Plymouth man has scored on the European stage. So it's good to see Graham Carey there scoring. But Roma 2-1 up, of course, in this game. Pellegrini with the first goal, the captain of the night, with a pretty decent finish. And then El Shawari a couple of minutes before the end of the first half with a fantastic finish. So 2-1 in that game. And I've just realised I remember who Graham Carey is now. I've seen him before, obviously. Played for Plymouth for quite a few years. My mind has rejigged its memory. But we're going over to Rowan, because remember, his game is still going on. It kicked off a little bit later. Frankfurt-Fenerbahce, who's had the chance?
Well, I think it's just about to hit the half-time mark, but Enner Valencia crosses a lovely ball in, and I think it's Mesut Rossi who goes for the overhead kick. He narrowly missed it. Ozil tries to get on the right side, a bit too much for him. He slows it down, gets it back to Enner Valencia, who skies it over the crossbar. But lovely opportunity for Rossi as the half-time whistle does go.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Half-time, Frankfurt 1, Fenerbahce 1, which means all the games are at half-time. But yeah, going back to that Roma CSKA-Sofia one, very good game overall so far. And they're not out of it yet, Sofia. In terms of possession-wise, looking at the stats, 28% possession for Sofia, but they've made the most of the chances when they've not had the ball. Very similar probably to what Club Brugge was like yesterday with the chances that they had. But Roma in the lead in that conference game. In terms of the other matches, which the boys aren't covering, we'll go through those very quickly indeed. Olympiacos 0, Royal Antwerp 0. We did have an original goal in that game, but it was disallowed for offside. Yusuf El Arabi, who put the ball into the back of the net. You'll have seen his name many times before in the Europa League, but unfortunately his goal doesn't count. It's actually Antwerp who dominate the game possession-wise, but chances-wise, Olympiacos have had 2 shots on target. Unfortunately, neither of them in the back of the net. Brøndby against Sparta Prague, another one of the games tonight in the Europa League. That game has been politely rubbish. No chances on target and 4 shots in the game overall. It's not been the most enjoyable of games on the European stage for either Brøndby or Sparta Prague. 0-0 in that game. And then, of course, the Conference League. A couple of the games going on tonight. Bodo Glimt against Zoya Luhansk. That game, looking stats-wise, is okay. Bodo Glimt dominating possession 56-44, but not really having many chances on goal. FK Partizan leading Anafosis 1-0. Looking at that game, obviously Partizan in the lead, scored in the 42nd minute from Queensy Menig. What a first name, Queensy. Never heard that one before. But they're dominating the game shots-wise. Very even on possession, though. 50-50 bang on in that match. Jablonec Cluj, 2 sides we said before. They've been in Europe quite a few times before. That game is all Jablonec right now. They're dominating that match. And then the final game of the Conference League that we are not covering tonight. Very good game, this one. Randers against Alkmaar. Alkmaar dominating the match with 2 goals. Jordi Classy, you'll remember him, of course, from being a former Southampton player, scored the first goal of the night. They're dominating that game, and they are 2-1 to the good. So they are some of the games that are going on that we're not watching tonight, and, of course, my games as well. We've got 4 of the games to talk about, which we will go through in a moment. But before we do that, just very quickly, I'll take that Randers Alkmaar picture off the screen. There we go. If you are new to the channel, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription if you are new. We do the goal show all the time across every single match day in the Champions League, Europa League and the Conference League. Obviously, the Europa League is done and dusted in terms of the later games. We're doing it now, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. It's not going to be on later. But what is on later? Valencia Real Madrid. That's on Sunday at 10 to 8. You can join us for that. It's going to be me covering that game. Wednesday or Tuesday, 21st September, whenever that is, Inter Milan against Fiorentina. That should be a very good game to watch. And then, of course, the Champions League is back in 2 weeks' time, which we will be covering on the channel. Hopefully, we should have Kyle and maybe Will back, and maybe see if we can even get Adam to join us back. You never know. But yeah, match day 2 of the Champions League is in 2 weeks on Tuesday, as well as the Europa League and the Conference League on Thursday night. But that is all the admin work. Let's talk about the 4 games that have been going on, and we'll start off with Rowan first. We'll start off with Monaco Sturm Graz 0-0 in that one. How's it been so far?
It's been a decent game. You know, I think it has been Monaco having a lot of them opportunities. Sturm Graz tried to hit him on the counter. I think Yeboah's actually had a really decent game, but it is all about Monaco just can't get the finishing touch is really what it is. They've gambled a lot with certain shots, and they haven't really. They've either gone wide or Siebenhand has actually make an okay save. Nothing incredible, but overall, it has been Monaco with a slight chance for Sturm Graz, but more or less all Monaco.
Yeah, stats-wise, it pretty much is all Monaco. 9 shots, but only 1 on target. Sturm Graz have had 1 shot, none on target. 73% possession for Monaco, 27% for Sturm Graz. They have got quite a few forwards on the pitch, to be honest with you. You would think they would score soon, Monaco.
Yeah, you think so, but like Kevin Volland has not really hit the mark at all. Crepin Diaz has had a very good game, but not gone for it in front of goal. He's more trying to set up. A goal will definitely come. Don't get me wrong. If you feed a horse enough, it'd be full. That's not the saying. You know what I mean? If you do something enough of times, it'll eventually happen. It's just, I think it's are they going to run out of time if they don't capitalise on some major opportunities? Because they've had some. I think Gelson Martins has worked himself on that left-hand side, linking up with Ismail Jakobs so much. It's just, unfortunately, it's not really led to anything yet. But 45 minutes should be enough for Monaco to at least get a goal.
And looking at the other game, 45 minutes is going to make things very interesting for that match. Frankfurt against Fenerbahce, of course. Fenerbahce scoring first. Sam Lammers getting one late. How's that one been?
It's been an absolute cracker of a game. Fenerbahce really opened it up. They just, from minute one, just went for it. And you can see by the stats, they've shot. They're not afraid to take opportunities. They're not afraid to go at Frankfurt. Whereas Frankfurt, it took them a while to get into the game. I think probably the 30th minute, but once they got into the game, they controlled it. I think they were a lot more patient than Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce would just go for it, whereas it's calm from Frankfurt. They'll take the time to distribute us out, but when they want to go, they go. They hit you with intensity. Having that two in front sort of allows Frankfurt to proper drive with Bode and Lammers, but you've got Kamada and Kostic just blitzing away. It's practically when they do want to go for it, they will wait until practically all four attacking players are ready to go, and then they will come in, especially with the pace of Danny Da Costa. It does help so much, but it's a lot of shots from Fenerbahce, and it's that thing of, are they eventually just going to keep on capitalising? On the other hand, Frankfurt have been probably more clinical. I think they've had the match for shots on targets in terms of shots on target. And all it takes is one goal. And if you're going at the end of the second half, you can't choose because they've both been so equally even.
Yeah, stats-wise, it's a fairly decent game. I mean, as you said, Fenerbahce have had plenty more shots. 10 shots, 4 on target. Frankfurt, 2 shots, 2 on target, 1 goal. Obviously, possession-wise, Frankfurt leading it. But as I said before, I cannot remember the last time I saw a team play 3-4-3. It's very attacking. Of course, you would expect goals in that game. And it's had 2 so far. But if you were to pick a side who were more likely to win it, who would you go for? If you had to pick one.
Fenerbahce, probably, just because, that, as you said, that front three with Ozil, Valencia and Rossi causing so many problems and not afraid to go for it. You feel like eventually the walls will come crumbling down for Frankfurt. Yeah, I'd have to back Fenerbahce, but anything can happen. It's 45 minutes, and the way this game's been going, any side can win it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Rowan. We'll bring him back when the goals do go in for the second half. Just very quickly before we bring Kieren in, Alexa's in the building. He says we're beating Anaforsis and win the whole thing. Of course, he's a Partizan fan. Good to see that you're winning, Alexa. Hopefully you can hold on to the result as well. But we'll talk about the other 2 games of the night now. Of course, Leicester City, Napoli, and PSV against Real Sociedad. I don't know where to start, Kieren, with this one. I mean, 2 very, very exciting games by the sound of it. Let's start off with the one that's had the least goals in it. And you said to me earlier, about 5-10 minutes before the end of the first half, you said, go and have a look at the stats and tell me how Napoli haven't scored. How have they not scored?
How have they not scored? I mean, it's been a combination of things. I think poor finishing and good goalkeeping, to be fair. Kasper Schmeichel's done quite well, as we probably expect him to do. But Napoli in front of goal have been really lacklustre. Apart from that, their general play has been really well. Unfortunate for the goal, maybe a bit of poor decision-making by Di Lorenzo to drift inside and leave Ayoze Perez free at the back stick for the volley. But apart from that, there's not really been a fault in their game, apart from that finishing, as pre-4 mentioned. But fair play Leicester. They've been the second best team in the game, but they do lead 1-0 at half-time. Absolutely.
You know, stats-wise, 15 shots, 4 on target for Napoli. Leicester City, 5 shots, 3 on target. It's all about being clinical with your chances. 46% possession for Leicester, 54% for Napoli. It's so easy to say, how do you get the cutting edge? When you've had all those chances and opportunities, you'd expect them to put the ball in the back of the net. But what do Napoli do to get this game back to their terms?
I think Napoli are massively missing a clinical finisher, and obviously their most clinical player is probably Dries Mertens, of course, who's been out with a shoulder injury for the start of the season. So I mean, like you said, it's harder to say like they've got to get the shots on. It's easy to say for us they've got to get the shots on target. But of course, for the players on the pitch, maybe just be a little bit more patient and don't snap your don't take snapshots. That's what I'm trying to say. That's about it. I can't really pick a fault in their game, to be fair, because they've been really good, as the stats suggest. 15 shots, 4 on target. Maybe get a few more shots on target. Test Schmeichel a bit more, because every time Osimhen's been up against Evans or Vestergaard, he's just raced past them. Of course, the pace is too much for him to handle, but he's been quite poor in front of goal as well. I think just more of the same from Napoli. I think the goal will eventually come. It just depends who's the one on the end of the chance.
And obviously the other game, which has had not as many chances in the game overall, but more goals. PSV Eindhoven 1, Real Sociedad 2. 5 shots on target in the game, 3 goals. Obviously, Sociedad in the lead. How's that one looking?
Yeah, what an excellent game of football. I mean, Piet, that we have started the second half just as we speak for this game. And Sociedad have made their way into the penalty area with Isaac, who picks one back. It's good goalkeeping by Drommel. But yeah, it's been a very back and forth game because for, I'd say, 35 minutes of the game, PSV looked by far the better side. And then as soon as Januzaj scored, it completely shifted the game on its head, and Sociedad have been on top ever since. But it's very back and forth. It's been a very entertaining affair, which is exactly what I thought it would be with these two sides, the way they've started the season. And I can only see more goals in the second half.
And let's hope we get more goals, not just in your game, but in the rest of them. Thank you very much, KD. And as he said himself, we are getting underway in some of the games with the second half of action in the Europa League. And we are going to have a few changes in the Monaco game already at half-time, which we were saying, of course, have Monaco not scored yet? Well, it looks like they're going to try and answer that question by bringing on a couple of players. Cao Enrique, Fabregas and Golovin are on. Ismaila Jacobs, Isidore and Gelson Martins have come off. So maybe someone like Cesc Fabregas, who Rowan was very excited by earlier, maybe could bring that creative cutting edge into the team to get the goal. He's giving me the middle finger. Well, not middle finger, he gave me 2 fingers there for it. Maybe if they can get the goal in that game against Sturm Graz. But we are now underway in our main game of the night, Rangers against Lyon. 1-0 as it stands in the second half of this, as we start the second half of this match. If you're wondering who scored the goal, it was Toko Ekambi with an absolute brilliant goal. It is the goal of the night, maybe the goal of the week, depending on I think Cancelo's will be up there for sure. He scored a brilliant goal against Leipzig, but that Toko Ekambi one was a spectacle. And they are in the lead right now, Lyon. They've got some work to do, Rangers. They've had a couple of chances in that first half, but so far, they've not scored, and they're going to have to try and see if they can get that Ibrox crowd going with 45 minutes left of this game. A couple of changes in the Leicester match as well. Going to be Soyuncu and Tielemans coming on for Perez and Johnny Evans. We were speaking about Johnny Evans earlier. He's come off. Obviously, Soyuncu a little bit more mobile. Going to need that in a game where you've got 3 ridiculously quick forwards in, of course, Insigne, Lozano and Ojemhen. But they are the changes. As far as I'm aware, I don't think we've had any changes in that game between Rangers and Lyon. We are also back underway in the game between Roma and Lyon. And we're also back underway in the rest of the Conference League games. We've had a goal in one of the Conference League games in the first couple of minutes of the second half. Bodo Glimt up against Zoya Luhansk of the Ukrainian League. Zoya Luhansk have gone 1-0 down to Bodo Glimt. Let's have a look and see who scored the goal in that game. The answer to that question is, when it loads, we will get there. In fact, saying that, they've just scored again. It's 2-0 to Bodo Glimt in that game. Ruthlessness. And Zoya are getting spanked, I think in Norway, I'm pretty sure, where Bodo Glimt is play their football. But they are now 2-0 up to the good in quick succession in that match. And 2 goals in 60 seconds. Solbakken and Saltnes with the goals. So Bodo Glimt looking very good now in their Conference League match. Should be on course for 3 points unless there is a surprise in that match. And then I think, no, there's no other goals in the Conference League. We're all good. So back to the Rangers-Lyon match. I'm just going to very quickly open the can. There we go. Make sure that you guys can't hear that going through the microphone. 1-0 still. Got a corner here for Lyon. And this could be the chance not to kill the game. I think killing the game a little bit too early for that, but to make things interesting. And it's a corner lobbed in by Emerson Palmieri, former Chelsea man. Really bad corner, but Davies clears it away. Going to get another corner here, Lyon. This needs to be a much better ball. When you've got players like Boateng and Slimani, who are quite tall, they can get the head on it. You'd expect a better ball. And again, Emerson Palmieri with a really poor corner tries to hit the ball towards the near post and has completely cocked it up. And now there could be a chance here for Rangers, and it's going to be Lyon who are going to have to bring the keeper out. Lopez is out. Kamara's coming towards it. Lopez clears. And so nearly, we could have had a goal from the halfway line, and Kamara have got that. He could have probably ran it in, to be fair, depending on how Lopez went in for the tackle. Lyon coming forward again here. It's coming a little bit more end-to-end. Good tackle from Davies, who gets the ball back. Lyon got the ball back again. It's going to be Paquette on the right wing this time, who's got it back. Tricky Brazilian, of course, did very well at the Copa America in the summer and for Lyon in general last season. But he's given the ball away. And let's hope it does stay end-to-end like this, because it was a fairly decent first half. It just needs a few more chances and a few more cutting-edge moments from both sides for this to have a couple more goals in it. But I can't believe it. It's, of course, Kyle putting in the chat the links. Alexa, absolutely delighted with Partizan tonight in the Conference League. Hopefully he's in the building to keep an eye out on the score. Probably watching the game. As Alfredo Morales has given a free kick away here. And he's not happy about it. Lyon coming forward now. And it's going to be on that right-hand side of the pitch. Can they get that second goal in this game and make things very interesting? And we are going to stop for a second because there has been a goal in the Europa League in one of the games. It's in one of the games we're not watching tonight. They scored earlier on and it didn't count. But this time it will count. Olympiacos back in front in their game against Royal Antwerp. As I said, first goal was disallowed by El Arabi. And this time, the goal scorer of that goal for Olympiacos is El Arabi. He finally gets his goal. He could have had a double on the night. He's got one. And Olympiacos lead against Royal Antwerp of Belgium. Not too bad at all. And of course, we can have a look as well at the groups in the Europa League. Because for those of you that might be wondering, these are the groups from the top end of the Europa League. Olympiacos are in that group with Frankfurt and Fenerbahce, so they'll be hoping tonight that that game ends in a draw, and hopefully then they can go to the top of the group. But I mean, going through the groups, obviously Group D is a quite a tasty group, 3 very good teams in there. Group C, 2 clear favourites, but no doubt Napoli Leicester will decide who finishes top. Spartak Moscow and Legia Warsaw played yesterday. That ended 1-1. It ended 1-0 to Legia Warsaw. It was the last minute winner in that match. So Legia could maybe finish the night on top of the table, depending on what happens in Leicester, Napoli. Group B is a barnstormer of a group. Really, really good group. 3 very good teams in there. And then, of course, Group A, 2 favourites. But you can never count out Sparta Prague and Brøndby. They'll give some very tough games to Lyon and Rangers. So they're the groups in the Europa League. If you're wondering, the groups in the Conference League, obviously Roma, the standout of the night in Group C. They're in the group alongside Zoya and Bodo Glimt. So Glimt will go top of the group if things stay as they are. And then, of course, AZ Alkmaar as well, the other recognisable team tonight. They are in Group D alongside Cluj and Zablanek. And just for you, Alexa, obviously, we're looking where Partizan are. And Partizan, I'm trying to find where they are. I've lost them now. They are in that group alongside... Where are they? I've lost them. I seem to have lost where they are. Maybe Group B, alongside Ghent, Flora, and Anaforsis. So they should probably be favourites to finish second in that group. But they are the groups, for those of you wondering. We'll come back to those, of course, as the night continues on. But we have our first goal of the second half from one of our games we're watching tonight. It is, of course, Mr. KD with the goal. Who scored it, Kieren?
It's an equaliser for PSV, and it is beautiful work. I think it's Mario Götze who picks it up on the right-hand side, nutmegs his player, and then plays a really good, intelligent pass to Cody Gakpo, and he just lifts his shot over the goalkeeper. PSV started this second half really well, and they've got their goal to equalise it up. It was Mario Götze, stuck it through the legs of Zaldua, embarrassed him. Lovely weight on the pass for Cody Gakpo on the overlap, and it's through the legs of another man. It was to get Gakpo in. Beautiful work by Mario Götze, of course. We know he's got that kind of quality in his game. And Cody Gakpo, brilliant youngster. Good finish, 2-2. Excellent game. Game on.
Thank you very much, KD. 2-2 between PSV and Real Sociedad. It is a barnstormer. Again, another Spanish team with 4 goals on the night. Incredible game that one is turning out to be. Had a goal in the Conference League. Every game in the Conference League has had a goal tonight. Jablanek 1-0 up against CFR Cluj. Of course, Cluj, very recognisable side, being in competitions before. It was a penalty, and Cluj are also down to 10 men. Don't tell me they got a red card within a minute of the start of the game. No, 6 minutes. That's still fairly bad. Cluj down to 10 men in their match. Yellow card in the Leicester game for Vestergaard, who's gone into the book. So a couple of cards coming out in some of the games tonight. First red card of the evening, as I said, going to Cluj. Just check to see if there's been any more red cards because it doesn't come up on our screen. But Lyon are in here. Iwar at the near post. Rebound by McGregor. Rebound on the line. It bobbles and it's in. And it's 2-0 to Lyon. And it's pinball from Lyon. And I think it will go down as an own goal. Slimani celebrated it like it's his, but I think it's going to be Tavernier who's given the goal away. He seems the most annoying, so I'd assume it's him. It's come off. And obviously, just looking now, where's Rangers? There we go, 2-0 Lyon. Just looking at the chance now, as I said, Iwar with the first original shot. It rebounds. Paqueta takes the shot. McGregor makes the save. And it does, I think, come off Tavernier in the end. And as he kicks the ball away in clear frustration, Ibrox has turned into a library. It's silent because they're 2-0 down to Lyon on the night. And I think that might just kill the game off. It really depends on how they react here, Rangers. It's not the start that they will want on match day 1 in the Europa League. And sadly for them, 2-0 to Lyon. And Islam Slimani celebrating it like it's his own. I don't really think it will be yours, mate. Because Tavernier will get it accredited as his own goal. So 2-0 there. And not a great night for Rangers at all. And they're coming forward again here, Lyon. It could be a chance for free. Iwar with the ball towards Paqueta. It's a really poor ball, but Paqueta's done really well to get to it. Still got the ball on the right wing. He's such a good player, Paqueta. Very tricky winger. / midfielder, whatever you want him to play. And now you would start to feel that this will give a little bit of an opportunity for Lyon to hold possession, maybe see if they can get a few more and comfortably finish this game off and start resting some players. They've got a massive game at the weekend against Paris Saint-Germain, so they will not want to play many of their big players for long because that is the big game of the night in Ligue 1 on Sunday. Should be an absolute belter, that one. But, of course, PSG drawing at the midweek to Bruges. They are definitely going to be hoping that they can desperately get a win on the board and pressure not begin to build on Poch, because I feel like with that result yesterday, Poch is going to have a few questions at him. And I think the referee going to give a free kick here to Rangers. Don't know what he was doing there. But talking about the other game, which is going on, the Conference League match I've got on tonight, Roma against CSKA-Sofia. Sofia, again, as I said earlier, not had much possession in this match at all. But they had a very good long-range effort. And it is that man again, Graham Carey, who is causing all forms of problems for Roma. And if you would have said 3 years ago to Graham Carey, when he was playing at Plymouth Argyle, that you will be coming up against Mourinho's Roma and causing them havoc, I think he would have probably laughed at you. But he is causing problems for them. And so far, he has got a chance to go forward here. Carey's in the box. He's laid the ball towards the middle, and there's no Sofia players to get there. I can't believe we're saying Graham Carey in European football, but he's doing very well as we've had a yellow card in the PSV game. Marco van Hinkel has gone into the book. That game is still 2-2 as it stands. So a little bit quiet in terms of the goals right now for the second half. Hopefully we can get a few more goals soon, fingers crossed. But there is going to be change here for Roma in their Conference League game. Obviously 2-1 up right now, and the change is going to see Diawara coming off the pitch. And coming on is Brian Cristante, scored for Roma against Sassuolo at the weekend. Will he be able to get another goal tonight? Or to be fair, his job is to probably just comfortably hold the lead for Roma. As I said, they are 2-1 up. Back to the Rangers game though. Pistoka Kambi on the left wing here. Trying to come forward and get that third goal for Lyon on the night. And instead, they are going to just slow down plays we expected them to. Just keeping themselves nice and tight as they try to comfortably hold their 2-0 lead. We've had another goal in one of the Conference League games tonight, and Bodo Glimt are having a Conference League party because they're now 3-0 up on the night against Zoya Luhansk. Very, very good night for them. Zoya not having a good performance whatsoever, and just having a look to see who scored this time. It's a player called Pellegrino who's bagged in that game. So not bad at all for Bodo Glimt. Goals flying in the Conference League. Very exciting indeed. A couple of substitutions in the Real Sociedad game. Just have a look and see who they are in a second. There we go. Zubeldia and Pacheco on for Munoz and Lenormand. So a couple of changes there. In that game, as we get towards the latter end, chance here, though, for CSKA-Sofia. Ball whipped on the right-hand side. Cleared away in the end by Smalling. And again, Sofia putting Roma under all sorts of pressure. Really good start to the second half for the away side. And there was a picture of Mourinho earlier when he was on the bench. They were 2-1 up and he looked like somebody had been sent to the naughty step. He was there with a really smug look on his face. Even at 2-1 up, he's not happy with how his Roma side are playing. And unfortunately, not good at all. But we're going over to KD. There's big capital letters. There's a goal. Who's it for?
Oh, if there's big capital letters, Josh, you know who scored the goal. We were on Daka watch, and he's made it 2-0 to Leicester. It's against the run of play. Napoli have only got themselves to blame that they're 2-0 down. Lovely pass into him by Tielemans, and Patson Daka smacks it past the keeper for 2-0. Come on, Daka. I'm so proud of him.
What a start for Patson Daka. Thank you very much, KD. We said tonight, before we went live, I was originally going to do this game. But we saw Daka, and Kieren is a big fan of Daka. You'll have seen before with the Salzburg games. He's backed him all the way, and he's delivering in a Leicester shirt. 2-0 on the night. But there's a goal check. Talk us through it, Kieren.
Oh, he might just be offside. Oh, don't do this to me. It's heartbreaking stuff. It's a lovely finish by Daka. Power just beats Ospina. Brendan Rodgers gives it the fist bump and the fingers into the air. The referee is checking the goal. Oh, don't rob me of a Daka goal in Europe, please. Don't do this to me. This is. Oh, the referee. Here we
how
go.
long we've had to wait as well for Daka to get a goal.
Oh no. Oh no, it's been disallowed. Oh no. He's inches off. I'm talking like toenail clippings offside. It's a very, very... Oh, no. No, Malqui's playing him onside there. I'm not having that. No, it might be offside. It might be the camera angle, but it's still 1-0 to Leicester then. The scoreboard still says 2-0, so Daka's been robbed of a goal. I've been robbed of me moment for Daka, and I don't really want to watch this game anymore because he'll probably get taken off of Vardy in the next 5 minutes.
He probably will know with Brendan Rodgers. Thank you very much, KD. It was a moment of glory to a moment of Daka disaster. 1-0 Leicester against Napoli. And it's not even his fault. Well, technically it is because he's offside, but, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate for him because it could have been 2-0 for Leicester. And regardless of who scored that goal, could have been a very, very important goal. And talking about important goals, Conference League action, it should be game, set and match for AS Roma, who've just bagged their third goal of the night. It's 3-1 against CSKA-Sofia. And still, Mourinho looks like a very, very angry person on the touchline. He's not happy, and I don't know what he's not happy about because it's a very, very simple finish. And again, the captain on the night, Pellegrini, scores his second goal of the game. And that should be game, set and match for AS Roma, who were now 3-1 up on the night. A couple of changes in the Sturm Graz Monaco game. Volland coming off and Ben Yedder coming on, and then Zakaria on for Janska. Janska? Is that the Gladbach player coming on there in that game? I don't know, but Janser I think I'll go for. That's probably the better pronunciation. But Zakaria coming off in that game. But still 0-0 in that one. And as I said before, Roma 3-1 to the good now against CSKA-Sofia. I think that one, unfortunately, is now out of Sofia's hands. And there is going to be, I think, a free kick given here for Rangers in a fairly decent position. Not spoke about this game for a couple of minutes now. But this is a very good position for a free kick to be taken. Ryan Kent, no doubt, will be the man who stands over this. Stephen Davies and Tavernier as well, probably another two who will look at this potential free kick chance as a chance to get back into the game. But we said it earlier in that Celtic match. With about 10 or 15 minutes left, if they could have got a goal then, it really opened the doors for a potential explosive last couple of 15, 20 minutes. But we've got about half an hour left in this one. A goal here would make things very interesting. Tavernier stood over it, and so is Kent. Two players we expected. Barisic as well has gone over. Kent's walked off. So Barisic and Tav over it. This is in a fairly decent position to hit this if they wanted to. Same position, probably where Toko Kambi took the shot. So Tavi's going to take the free kick and so nearly scores. That is a world-class save. And in the end, it's not a world-class save because he doesn't get a touch on it, so it's not a save. But it hits the post from Lopez, and so nearly Rangers could have had a goal back in that match and the post saving Anthony Lopez and Lyon there. But we're going to have a couple of changes in PSV Sociedad 2-2 as it stands in that match. Madueke, Van Hinkel and Zahavi off. Carlos Vinicius, Ryan Thomas and Vitesse on. So a couple of changes in that match. Yellow card for Sturm Graz. Vutric with a yellow card in that game. And then there is a couple of substitutions in the Leicester game. We'll wait for those because there's been a goal in one of Kieran's games. Who's it for?
Well, now it is 2-0 to Leicester, and it's a lovely goal from Leicester. Lovely build-up play. Harvey Barnes in acres of space on left-hand side, isolates his man, cuts in, couple of step-overs, bang, back of the net, 2-0 Leicester. Koulibaly is puffing out of his arse, Joshua.
You'd like to hope he gets a yellow card at some point. Fingers crossed for you. Thank you very much, KD. 2-0 to Leicester City. Now, I don't know maybe if Daz is the oracle, because he did say at the beginning of the night 3-0, and I did laugh it off. Technically, it could have been 3-0 had Daka's goal counted, and there's still more than enough time for them to get the third. So if you are in the building, Daz, I hope you've put money on 3-0, because you'd have probably got fairly decent odds for it. But as we said, Leicester 2-0 up on the night now, looking very, very good indeed in that game against Napoli. And as we said earlier, so many chances for Napoli in that game. And they've just not taken them. But we're going to go over to Rowan because there's been a goal. Finally, has been quite well since we've had a Rowan goal. Is it for?
Yeah, finally, and it's for Monaco. Sturm Graz have held on for so long and unfortunately just couldn't. And it came from Fabregas. Fabregas inside the box, class is permanent. Lays it off to I think it was Chao Enrique. Enrique plays it back to Fabregas. Fabregas does lose it, but he finds his way to Golovin, who darts through. Goes to the byline, dinks it in, and probably the man of the match so far, Kieren D rises highest, just gets in behind Dante. Dante loses his man. Kieren D heads it straight in, lovely header, angles it perfectly, and 1-0 Monaco. Sturm Graz unfortunately hold on. I feel sorry for him because Sturm Graz have had moments. Yeboah causing, when he gets the ball, him and Ljubic cause problems on that left-hand side. But fortunately, 1-0 to Monaco.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Monaco finally taking the lead. It's took them a little bit of a while to get going in the match, but they've got the goal. We're going to stop for a second. Sofia in here. That's a terrible shot. In fact, it's been given as free kick anyway. But Monaco in the lead now in that game. 1-0. Deservedly, stats-wise, they absolutely deserve it. And, of course, they're on course for a nice, very tidy 3 points. We've had a couple of changes, or at least a change, in the PSV Real Sociedad game. Moene is off, and Jean Teze has come onto the pitch for the last about 20 minutes of action in the Europa League and the Conference League tonight, as it stands across the board in both competitions. For those who are wondering, with the scores on the doors on the night, Rangers 2-0 down to Lyon, PSV 2, Real Sociedad 2, Leicester City 2, Napoli 0, could have been 3-0, goal disallowed for Daka in that game. Monaco just gone 1-0 up against Sturm Graz, as we had from Rowan a moment ago. Frankfurt Fenerbahce is still 1-1. Roma CSKA-Sofia 3-1. Very good game, actually, if I say so myself. Olympiacos 1-0 up against Royal Antwerp. Could have been 2 goals for El Arabi. Unfortunately, though, one of them was ruled out. Brøndby 0, Sparta Prague 0. Bodø/Glimt 3, Zoya Luhansk 0. FK Partizan 1-0 up against Anafosis. Jablonec 1-0 up against Cluj. Cluj are down to 10 men. And I was going to say this one a moment ago, but this has turned out to be a bit of a quite exciting game in the Conference League, because AZ Alkmaar are now 2-2. Randers have equalised just as we've been talking in that game against Alkmaar. I'll find out who scored that goal a moment ago, but it looks like that game is a very, very lively one in the Conference League. Goal in that game coming from Jensen, one of the defenders, actually, in the 68th minute. So 2-2 in that one, 20 minutes potentially to try and see if they can get the winning goal in that match. But there's been a couple of decent Conference League games going on. Obviously, politely, not many games that I think the neutrals will watch. I think you're probably more likely a fan of that club who will watch that game. If you're in the UK, maybe you might support AZ Alkmaar. There'll probably be a very minuscule amount of Alkmaar fans, but there'll be people who will watch it. And there's been a couple of decent games, actually, from the Conference League. And we always said before, the Conference League isn't going to be the marquee competition, which is going to bring thousands and thousands of new people to the game or anything like that. It is just a competition for the smaller teams. And, of course, there's been a couple of decent games over the last couple of days from it. But back to the big game of the night, Rangers to Lyon. There's going to be a change here. Ryan Kent coming off the pitch and Kamar Roof is coming on. Last time I heard of Kamar Roof, it was that Slavia game last season when I'm pretty sure he booted Kolar in the head. Yeah, Rowan not happy with that one. He's giving the two fingers to Kamar Roof there. But we're going over to KD. It's been a goal. Now, obviously, this is going to be quite important. If Leicester have scored a third, brilliant for them. Or is it the PSV game?
It's Leicester, but it's Napoli, Josh, who are back in the game. Lovely move on the edge of the box. Very clustered penalty area. Elmas and Fabian Ruiz do a couple of flicks with each other, and it's headed to Osimhen, who takes a fantastic touch. And we talked about him finishing poorly earlier. Does really well to lift it over the on-rushing Kasper Schmeichel and put Napoli back in this game. 2-1, game on with about 15 minutes or so to go.
Game on indeed. Thank you very much, Kieren. 3 goals on the night in that game, 4 goals on the night in the other game. Kieren is being treated to 2 very good spectacles. And talking about spectacles, I know Alexa might not be in the building right now. He'll be watching that Partizan game, but he will be jumping for joy because Partizan are now 2-0 to the good against Anaforsis. Good performance, it looks like, here for Partizan tonight on a night with European football and the lights. You always like to see it. But yes, obviously, Kieren there with the goal for Napoli. We said time and time again, they were knocking at the door, and the door has finally been knocked down. Can they get that second goal and get an equaliser? We'll have to find out because there's about 20 minutes left of action tonight. There's going to be a change in the game between Sturm Graz and Monaco. Yeboah is off. Nyangbo is onto the pitch, so a change there for the away side. But there's going to be another change as well, in the Leicester game, and he's not happy. Daka is off. Ademola Lookman is on for Daka. Kieren is not happy with Brendan Rodgers, and rightfully so. He's substituting him off after he scored a goal and then it was disallowed for offside, and we thought we'd maybe see another goal from him, but unfortunately not. And very frustrating there for KD. Daka watch is over for the night, sadly. But what isn't over is this Rangers game, because they are getting back into it. They've had a couple of little chances here and there, Rangers, but 19 minutes left. I think this game probably is going to end with a Lyon win. It really is screaming out for a Rangers goal. But there's been a couple of changes in the Sturm Graz game again, this time for the away side. Gazibegovic and Ketchivili have come off. Jager and Pras have come on. So 2 changes there. Sturm Graz obviously going for it. And credit to them, because I'm going to have a look at the stats of the game very quickly, because I want to see whether or not they obviously, we said earlier they've been battered. 13 shots, 3 on target. They're still in the game. You know, we saw Club Brugge yesterday with all the chances that PSG had. They got the draw. Obviously, I know it's a bit of a tougher task for Sturm Graz because they have got a lot of work to do in terms of the golfing class between the two sides. But they're still in it, and it's 1-0 in that game. But we'll stop for a second, because we have had another goal in one of the Europa League games tonight. It's in a game that isn't being watched. Olympiacos are now level. Well, Royal Antwerp are now level in that game against Olympiacos. 1-1 in that match between the Greek and Belgian side. And wow, I didn't even know he was playing there. It must have just moved recently. Ali Samata, the former Fenerbahce and Aston Villa striker, plays at Antwerp. There's one for you in terms of the random transfers of world football. Samata with the goal for Antwerp. And obviously, this is a bit more of a bit of a talk for us guys, Kieren and Rowan. But, if you remember Samata from the Champions League in Football Manager, where he scored, I'm pretty sure 90 billion different goals every time we played the save, we won't have that anymore unless we play Europa League football. So, big positives there. No more Samata for us in FM, as we are going to get a free kick for, I think, Lyon in the defensive half of play. I think Joe Rebo's gone into the book with a lunging tackle, and in the end, right decision to give the yellow card there. But 2-0 to Lyon still in that match. Just seeing if there's been any other goals elsewhere. There's only one game tonight in the Europa League that hasn't had a goal, and that is Brøndby Sparta Prague. Still waiting for something in that game. And then, of course, the Conference League, there is no goals since we last checked. So 15 minutes left here. Going to be a couple of changes for Roma. I think Tammy Abraham's coming on for Roma here. Even at 3-1. Still good to get a few more goals in this game. As Alfredo Morelos has gone into the book as well for Rangers. Talking to the referee. I don't know what he said to him, but obviously he must have said something fairly bad for the referee to give him a yellow card. But we are going to see Cristante come off in that Roma game. Sorry, not Cristante. It's going to be Pellegrini who comes off, not Cristante. He's just come on. Pellegrini who comes off the pitch. Scored 2 goals tonight. And 2 very well-worked goals. The first goal was a brilliant outside-the-box effort. Second goal was a tap-in. And Tammy Abraham is going to come onto the pitch for the last 15 minutes of that game. Talking about the Sociedad match, yellow card for Oyarzabal in that game. And then the Napoli match, Insigne has come off. And Adam Unas, who was on loan at Cagliari last season, back at Napoli again, he is in the team for the last 15 minutes. Is there going to be any late goals in the Europa League tonight? As it stands, Lyon 2-0 to the good against Rangers. Still all square between PSV and Real Sociedad. Napoli with a goal not too long ago to bring that game back against Leicester, but they're still leading 2 on the home side. Monaco 1-0 up against Sturm Graz, thanks to Creping Diatta. Frankfurt and Fenerbahce still 1-1. Both goals scored in the first half. Roma 3. CSKA-Sofia 1. Olympiacos 1-1 against Royal Antwerp. You'll have seen that just a moment ago. Only goalless game of the night is Brøndby against Sparta Prague in the Europa League. Bodeglimt 3 goals to the good against Zoya Luhansk. Anafosis 2-0 down to Partizan. Good night for Alexa Vujic, who's one of our regulars in the stream. Jablanek 1-0 up against Cluj. Cluj down to 10 men. And then Randers 2, Alkmaar 2. Could be a chance here for a corner in Rangers game. Corner's been lofted in. Comes towards Tavernier. Does get his head onto it. It's cleared away by Lyon. Nervy moment there for the French side. If they'd have scored that, Rangers, that would have made things interesting. With about 15 minutes left. Yellow card in the Leicester game. Kaglar going into the book. So yellow card's coming out, just not for the right centre-back. KD wanting a yellow card for Koulibaly for his bet tonight. So he'll be hoping that with about less than 15 minutes left, he does get a card in that game because time is running out. But are we going to get a grandstand finish at Ibrox? It's 2-0 to Lyon, but Rangers are coming forward. Kamar Roof inside of the box, brilliant defending. But I think we might have got an injury here for... I know. I'm not going to lie. I don't know who was at the back there. I don't know if it was Denayer at the back there for Lyon. I need to check if he's playing or not here because I don't want to say he is and he's not playing. Let me have a quick check of the lineups. Yeah, he's playing tonight. I think Denayer there with the worst impression of Immobile. If you remember at the Euros when Immobile went down injured and then magically got up with a sponge, like he had no injury. Denayer went down injured. And then 5 seconds later, obviously he's got his leg. He's running around in pain. He then gets up and walks up like a miracle, like God has come down and saved him, and he's all right. Weird, absolutely weird. Let's go over to KD, though. No, let's not go over to KD. There was a dangerous free kick, but he says no, don't go over to him. So I'm guessing that free kick is not going. Yeah, he says it's an awful free kick. So unfortunately, no free kick this time. But there was a change in that Sociedad game. Got a Sabal and Romero on. Januzaj and Zaldua off. So 2 changes. Across both sides in that game, still 2-2. And then a couple of changes across the board as well. There was a change in the Sturm Graz game for Rowan. Vutric has come off and Gurfa coming on. And then Leicester change as well. Madison on, Sumare off. Let's go over to Rowan. Chancey, one of his games. Who's it for?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been talking to you. But it's a Fenerbahce Frankfurt game, and it's really switched on his head. It's Frankfurt, and it was Filip Kostic got on that left-hand side where he got the assist from last time. Instead, he cuts inside and he goes forward straight at Bayindir, and he takes a shot, and Bayindir stops it, he spills it. Kostic then does go for the rebound, but he couldn't poke it away. It was actually really well blocked there by Kim, the centre-back, and eventually was cleared by Fenerbahce. But really, game's completely flipped on its head. Yeah, good game so far. 15 minutes left though.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Greatly appreciated indeed. I've just had a look. I put a bet on earlier today. Obviously, I know people do like to ask in the stream bets-wise in terms of what I put on. I'm fuming. I hate Lazio. Terrible club. I put a 50p bet on for a 210 to 1 bet tonight. And it would be winning right now had Lazio not lost. Very, very frustrating. So thank you very much, Lazio, because that would have been a nice 105 quid back for 50p. But yeah, everyone is winning on the bet. And that's really annoying, that, isn't it? It's always worse, isn't it, when you see one singular, minuscule team lose your bet. But it still could technically change because Monaco are only 1-0 up right now against Sturm Graz. But we're going to get a card here. Sending off in the Sofia game, and it goes from bad to worse for Sofia. CSKA-Sofia down to 10 men, a double yellow in the game. And just have a look at the tackle from the number 30. I think it's called Vilschut, and yeah, it's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Sofia going down to 10 men, and it's all comfortable now for Roma, who will definitely get those 3 points on the board unless Sofia produce one of the best comebacks, I'd say ever, but maybe in Conference League history, although the Conference League is only 2 days old. Katie said that Koulibaly snapped to Iheanacho. He's not got booked. It's rigged. Ref's obviously seen your bet. He does not want your bet to win tonight, KD, because he would have given that yellow card had he even known that your bet wasn't on. But still 2-1 to Leicester in that game. As we reach the final 10 minutes of action, if you are new to the stream, don't forget, as always, to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. Plenty more content to come over the next few days on the channel. Of course, the Champions League and the Europa League is back in 2 weeks' time, and we'll be doing the match day goal show for every single match day that comes your way on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. Substitution in the Sociedad match. Isaac is off, and Sorloth is on. Of course, Sorloth, the former Palace man, now at Real Sociedad. He'll be hoping that he can do something very similar to Isaac and get his career back on track. He's got a good chance with the last 10 minutes to see if he can go on and score the winning goal in that game. Just trying to see if there's any chances in this Rangers match. It's gone a little bit dead, I've got to admit. 8 minutes left of this match. I thought maybe there was going to be a chance for a grandstand finish in this one, but unfortunately, doesn't look like we're going to get that, sadly. But we are going to have a few changes in the Fenerbahce match, and Fenerbahce have just decided to make changes all in one go, pretty much. Just seeing right now, Ozil, Gandas, Valencia, and Kadrioglu are off. Maya Berisha, Pelkas, and Gumaskaya on, as we've had another goal in that Roma game, and it is now 4-1 to the good. Unfortunately, there's going to be no excitement of a comeback for Sofia. It is Mancini who has scored, Gianluca Mancini, who was made the captain for the back end of the game after Pellegrini came off. He took the captain's armband, and it seems to be the lucky charm tonight, because that is now the third goal with the captain's armband that's been scored tonight. Good set-piece opportunity, ball whipped into the box. It was Chris Smalling who initially took the chance on. His shot hit the post. It ricocheted out to Mancini. All he's going to do is tap the ball on the back of the net, and it is 4-1 on the night. Roma fans, of course, enjoying plenty of goals in this game in Italy. Dangerous free kick. Finally our chance. I'm going to go to him straight away. Who's it for, Kieren?
Well, it's for PSV, Josh, and it's a little bit wider centre. And if he does go for the shot here, Gakpo, it will be some goal. And he goes for the shot, and it goes over the bar. As usual, we will get one of these, Josh. We will get a goal from one of these, I promise you.
One day. As I said, we might need 900 more attempts, but we will get one someday. Thank you very much, KD. 2-2 still between PSV and Real Sociedad. One day. We will celebrate a free kick goal. I don't know when that will be. Maybe I'll have had 2 kids, a wife, and 20 years may have passed since then. But we will get one at some point. As Roma coming forward again. Oh, they've hit the post. It could have been 5. It should have been 5. A brilliant effort from outside the box from Elmador Shonomadov, who has had a fairly decent game today. But unfortunately, hasn't bagged a goal, and he could have, and he should have. I mean, I'm looking at the angle of the goal now, the keeper in no man's land, and he probably should have had a goal there. Should have been 5-1, but it's not. Fairly comfortable, though, anyway, isn't it, for Roma? Let's talk about Rangers, though. They've got a free kick in a good position here. Celtic scored with 5 minutes left, remember, in that game earlier on today. There are 6 minutes left of this game. And Rangers need a goal desperately to bring this game to life. Tavernier stood over the free kick. It's on the far right-hand side towards the corner flag, so it's not going to be a shot on goal unless he wants to be audacious. Tavernier whips the ball in towards the near post, and so close. And it was a chance from, I think it was Connor Goldson who got his head on it in the end. It was actually Balogun as well. I think they both got a little bit of a touch on the ball, and unfortunately over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. But we've had another goal in the Roma game, and Mr. Tammy Abraham, he's only been on the pitch for about 5 minutes, but he's got a goal to his name, and it's 5-1 now on the night to AS Roma. Tammy Abraham has said substitute on. Mourinho still looking pissed off. Crack a smile, Mourinho. You're 5-1 up against Sofia, for God's sake. But I'm guessing he's keeping himself nice and calm. It's obviously CSKA-Sofia, I guess he's thinking in the back of his head. But the goal itself, a really good ball from Shoramodov. He's a one-on-one with the keeper, Tammy Abraham. And in the end, a simple finish for the English forward. And I'm really excited to see what Tammy Abraham does in Serie A. I think he's destined for big things in Italy. And that is another goal to his name. And 5-1 on the night to Roma. Not a bad night, is it, if you're an Italian fan? Changes in the Leicester-Napoli game. Zambo, Anguissa and Malki have come off. Patania and Juan Jesus on. So 2 changes in that game towards the back end of the match. Still 2-1 to Leicester against Napoli. And talking about a game that has just become 2-1. It's one of the games we're not watching tonight. In the Europa League, Olympiacos are back in front in their game against Royal Antwerp. They could have been 2-1 in front earlier on had El Arabi's first goal initially not been ruled out. But they are 2-1 up now on the night. And it is a goal for Oleg Ryabchuk. I think I'm pretty sure he's a Moldovan midfielder who's gone and bagged himself a goal. So Ryabchuk making it 2-1 on the night to Olympiacos in their Europa League game. But we're going to go over to KD now. Chances galore at the back end of this game. Who's it for, Kieren?
Oh, what a miss, Josh. PSV had the chance to win it. And Jordan Teze, the man you probably don't want it to fall to, the replacement right back, has volleyed it well wide. It's a lovely... He wins the ball back really well, Cody Gakpo, and plays a delightful over-the-top ball. But Teze hits it quickly on the volley and it just snaps wide. It's a very, very bad miss. He really should be scoring. And as I speak, Cody Gakpo, being best player on the pitch by far, comes off, and Jeffrey Bruma, it's not Jeffrey Bruma, is it? Bruma comes on to replace him.
Thank you very much, KD. 2-2 as it stands between PSV and Real Sociedad. We've had an effort from CSKA-Sofia, long-range effort this time. I think it was from, the number 17 who took the shot. I'm going to have a quick look and see who it was in the end. Let me find it. There we go. It was Muhard gone for the shot from long range, about 25 yards out. Good save in the end, a simple one at the very least for the Roma keeper. But another chance, and unfortunately not a goal for Sofia. It wouldn't really matter anyway because they are 5-1 down, but a goal would be nice for them, I guess, at the very back end of this game. But the time is running out. We're into the last about 5 or so minutes of action across European football for match day 1. Of course, we've got a 2-week break before the Champions League, the Europa League is back again. But there has been a goal in one of KD's games. Has somebody got a winner against PSV? Have Leicester scored or have Napoli equalised? Kieren?
I'm a 2-2 magnet, Josh. It's Leicester 2, Napoli 2. And finally, Osimhen has his goal. It is a lovely floated ball in from the right-hand side. Osimhen rises highest. Sorry, there is a dragonfly in my room, I think, or something of that sort in my room. It is absolutely huge. Osimhen rises highest and nods it in. It's 2-2 with about 5.5 minutes left, plus added time. Could be chance for a winner for Napoli.
We will have to see. Thank you very much, KD. He has got 2 games well and truly in the balance, 2-2 in both of the matches Kieren is covering tonight. We are into the last couple of minutes of action in the Europa League. As I said, I'll go through the scores very quickly in a second, just checking to see if there's been any more goals across the board tonight. In some of the games, there hasn't. So as it stands, with a few minutes left of action, Rangers 2-0 down to Olympique Lyon. PSV 2, Real Sociedad 2, Leicester City 2, Napoli 2, Monaco 1 up against Sturm Graz, Frankfurt and Fenerbahce 1-1, Roma 5-1 to the good. I've had plenty of goals tonight again. CSKA-Sofia down to 10 men. Olympiacos 2, Rolanta 1, Brøndby 0, Sparta Prague 0, Bodø/Glimt 3-0 up against Zoya Lansk in the Conference League, Anafosis 2-0 down to Partizan in the Conference League, Jablonec 1-0 up against Cluj in the UECL, and Randers 2, Izad Alkmaar 2. Plenty of 2-2s tonight. And are we going to get any winners? I mean, Rome's just put you need PSV, Sparta, and Frankfurt to score for 210 quid. 7 minutes of added time in that PSV game. So there's more than enough time for one of those teams to get a win. As in the Leicester game, Vardy's come on for the last couple of minutes. Iheanacho coming off. So is there going to be time for a late winner in one of those matches? We will have to see. There's been another goal in the Conference League tonight. Goals flying there. Unfortunately, not a really meaningless goal. Zoya getting a late consolation goal against Bodø/Glimt. 3-1 in that match. Zoya of the Ukrainian League. Not a great performance from them tonight. But they will take a consolation goal in that Conference League game. 3-1. Bodø/Glimt going on with the 3 points in that match. Unless anything incredible happens in the last couple of minutes. That's already into extra time anyway, so I don't think we'll get anything in that game. We've got 4 minutes of additional time in Rangers Lyon. I'm pretty sure I can safely say Lyon are going to be taking the 3 points home here. It's been one of those nights, realistically, for me, where Lyon haven't really played as good as they could. I think they've played in second gear tonight. And for large parts of this game, Rangers have had opportunities where they could have gone on and maybe scored a goal and made things interesting, but they just don't seem at it tonight, Rangers. And I think fans will be a little bit disappointed with how they've played. You know, it's no mean feat to lose to this Lyon side. I think they're a very, very good team on the day. But unfortunately, it's going to look like it's going to be a sad day for Rangers fans because it's going to end 2-0 unless they can get a goal or two in the next 3 minutes. We've got 2 minutes left of additional time in Roma against Sofia. Still 5-1 in that game. But we're going over to KD. There's been a chance. Who's it for, Kieren?
PSV have just hit the post and it's Teze again. Oh, Josh, they just can't put the ball in the back of the net in the second half. 5 minutes added on in the Leicester-Napoli game, by the way. But PSV have been pushing and pushing during this second half. They've been by far the better side since the turn of the half. Jordan Teze just smacked it from outside the area. Had a poor attempt earlier. This one, a lot better. But Sociedad are in. What a save by the keeper. Oh, Yazabel really should be doing well, doing better there. And end-to-end stuff, it should have been won by both sides. Poor football from both defences. But with 3.5 minutes left of added time, it's 2-2. But both sides just missed massive chances to win the game.
Big moments. Thank you very much, KD. 2-2. With time left for winners. Are we going to see one? We will have to find out. It's starting to get full time across the board in some of the games. Full time at Olympiacos against Antwerp. Olympiacos with a winner with 3 points on the board in that game. El Arabi had 2 goals. One of them was disallowed. There was an equaliser for Samata, who's just recently joined Antwerp. But Ryabchuk getting the winning goal for Olympiacos. And a big 3 points that's going to be, because remember, they are in a group alongside Eintracht Frankfurt and Fenerbahce. And that could be a pretty tough group to get out of if you don't get points. We're going back over to KD, though. Another chance. Who's it for?
Napoli had the chance to win it. It's a free kick floated in, and Romani has a free header, but he just guides it over the top of the crossbar. He should be doing better with that. Soyuncu couldn't keep up with him. And it's Leicester let off massively.
Nervy times indeed. Thank you, KD. 2-2 still. Is there going to be a winner? We're going to have to find out. We're going over to Rowan. A chance late on in his game. Who's it for?
It is for Monaco. They just had a chance to get a second. The ball drifted all the way to the right, came back out, and it allowed Ben Yedder to stay inside because Alfenberger had playing him on side. He got the ball, he turned his shot, he got it past the keeper, but Alfenberger managed to get on the line. A player's down in the box, and Fenerbahce have got a penalty in the 89th minute. Kevin Trapp has just took out someone. I was too distracted with telling you what was happened with the thing. Yeah, a ball in behind. Oh, that is stupid from Kevin Trapp. It was. Was it the substitute, Dimitris Pelkas? He's tapped it past Kevin Trapp. Kevin Trapp has then just bundled into him, and it's a penalty for Fenerbahce.
I'm going to leave you in for a second, Rowan. Red card in one of the games on Kieren. Who's been sent off?
Well, Wilfred Ndidi received a yellow card early in the match, Josh, and he's been sent off for a second bookable offence for pulling the shirt of, I think it was Unas, who's been fantastic since he's come on, by the way. And now Leicester down to 10 men, still got to defend for another 2.5 minutes.
Thank you very much, KD. Leicester down to 10 men. Rowan, Fenerbahce penalty.
Yeah, you can see
through it.
All the substitutes are on the sideline. I think it is going to be Pelkas who will step up to take his own penalty. The Monaco game has just finished 1-0 to Monaco. The referee's just going to have a quick word with the Frankfurt players, but having a word with Kevin Trapp here. Pelkas, it's nerves on the sideline for Fenerbahce. Can they win it? There is 5 minutes at a time after this. I mean, there's 4 minutes left of it, but ref will let it play on. Pelkas keeping himself calm, just checking the referee. Referee's still having a word with Danny Da Costa. And this could really affect Pelkas. Pelkas steps up. It's a slow run up, and Kevin Trapp saves. Rebounded, it's in. Oh, and it's in from, I can't see who has put that away, but it's hit on the rebound. Kevin Trapp saves the penalty, but he parries it straight into the path of someone. They're not even showing the goal scorer celebrating, as the Fenerbahce players has got bottles thrown at them, plastic ones, but still getting stuff thrown at them. Not nice. And it is, well, it's just showing Pelkas. We know that Pelkas hasn't scored. I mean, it was in the best penalty. Trapp read it well, but he just parried it straight into the path of. You'll eventually find out. You probably find out quicker than they show me the number. Hold up, I bet you Google will have it quicker than me.
Probably will do.
They're just not showing the number.
While you do that, very quickly, full-time PSV Sociedad ends 2-2.
Wow.
And full-time Rangers, Lyon beat them 2-0. Full-time as well, Roma 5-1 in that game.
There's a penalty kick check.
Oh.
VAR, the check is over. The goal does not stand.
Goal disallowed.
I don't know what for, though.
Offside?
Okay, so the guy who scored was in the box. Whoever was scored, he was in the box when the penalty was taken. That allowed him to have the jump on Danny Da Costa. No goal. 1-1 now.
Drama. And I might as well keep you in, Rowan, because that's the last game going on. 2-2, Leicester-Napoli, full-time in that game. Leicester with a relay red card in that one, down to 10 men, which means there's one more game going on now. All the games apart from Fenerbahce and Frankfurt still going on, obviously. Going to probably be a little bit more time because of the VAR and the penalty decision.
I'm just watching here, they're just showing it. Pelkas isn't even at the... Like, he's not even about to take it. He's probably 3 steps away before the eventual goal scorer is in the box. It's a really... The thing is, it's why we have VAR. And it's just saved Frankfurt there. A minute and a half left. From I don't know what to say, from... They thought they'd won it. They really didn't. Frankfurt can come here now. Jens Petter Haag plays it down onto the left side to... That's Daichi Kamada. Kamada tries to cross it in, blocked well by Itali Shalai. Who blocked it? Yeah, Itali Shalai. He blocked it. And it's going to be... Oh, we're having a bit of fisticuffs here. It's going to be a yellow card there for Brightside Samuel. But everyone's coming on the pitch. The subs are coming on. Frankfurt subs, Fenerbahce subs. Oh, it's all kicking off. Kevin Trapp's there. He's getting involved in the beef. All the coaching staff are coming on there. Timmy Goals is having a bit of beef as well. It's the only action he's seen today. And this is not played, just all spilling over to the sidelines. And I don't know what it was. I think a Frankfurt player ran onto the pitch to confront someone. And also all the coaching team and subs came together. Then the players came together. And there's still time left in this game. There's 15 seconds, but time will be added on for the check and for everything. Referee, see what he's going to do. I think it's a Fenerbahce coach. The actual manager is telling everyone to calm down here. Ref's just going to bring him over. Drama to end.
I
This
mean, it
game
would
was
make
just
even more drama if there was a last-minute winner.
He is giving a yellow card to one of the bench players. That's the backup goalie for Fenerbahce. That is Oze, who's got a yellow card. I think a couple of coaching staff has also got one, which is not what you want now, because I'm seeing what happened here. They just shook hands there. I'm seeing what originally happened. It was just a cynical foul that Asai Samuel didn't like by... he just didn't like it. It was yellow card for Asai Samuel for his reaction. And then a sub ran on the pitch to confront Asai Samuel because he pushed him. So did Kevin Trapp, came up to confront him. Then all the subs got into that beef. Game's still not over.
I'm thinking the game might go into the 100th minute at this rate, potentially, if they keep tussling with each other.
We're only 4 minutes off. I mean, there's still enough time because the ref surely will let the game go on unless he'll just end it to save the misery. Jakic also did get a yellow card for his part in all of that. But we're over the time, but referee definitely will let time go on. He's not looking at his watch. His Danny Costa's just been cropped there. And it'll be one last opportunity. I think Kevin Trapp will come over to take this free kick. No, whistle's been blown. Never mind. Not a free kick. Whistle's been blown 1-1 here in Frankfurt.
Thank you very much, Rowan. And that is all of the games of the night. As you can see on your screen, we'll go through them very quickly. Full time in all of the games, the Conference League, the Europa League, both competitions, of course. Lyon 2-0 against Rangers. PSV 2, Real Sociedad 2, no winner in that match. We'll talk to Kieren about that in a second. Same with Leicester City, Napoli. Monaco with 1-0 win against Sturm Graz. Frankfurt 1, Fenerbahce 1, no winner in that game, unfortunately. Fenerbahce had a penalty, it was saved, and then VAR ruled out the rebound for offside. Roma 5, CSKA-Sofia 1. Sofia down with 10 men in that game in the Conference League. In the Europa League, back to that again, Olympiacos 2-1 against Royal Antwerp. Brøndby 0, Sparta Prague 0. Bodo Glimt 3-1 win against Zoya Luhansk. Anafosis losing 2-0 to Partizan. Good result tonight if you're a fan of Partizan. Of course, we've got Alexa in the chat who's a big fan of them. Jablonec 1, Cluj 0. Cluj going down to 10 men in that game. And then Randers with a big 2-2 draw against AZ Alkmaar. That'd be an underrated result of the night. Good result for the, I think they're a Danish side against the Dutch. Very good result indeed. But that is all of the 12 games done. And I'll bring the two boys back in. KD, 2-2 magnet tonight.
Yeah, loving the 2-2s. Goals flowing. It made a difference from yesterday. Two very exciting games. Feel a bit sorry for Leicester, but I mean, you can't argue after looking at the stats, really. Napoli dominated for the majority of the game. Unfortunately, I hold my hands up. Daka was offside by about a shoulder or so, but, you know, I'd have still given him the goal.
And I'm just seeing now 22 shots for Napoli in that game, a hell of a lot of opportunities. And then obviously Rowan for you, Monaco, decent win, 1-0, but the late drama, Frankfurt for Fenerbahce, that's made things very interesting.
Oof. I mean, I do for sort of Pelkas. Teammates went over and sort of told him it was all right, but he obviously missed the penalty. Then if they thought they'd won it. But it's why we have VAR. We slander it all the time, and we always come up with the reason why it's great. And tonight's just another one because it saved Frankfurt a point. Heartbreak Fenerbahce, but even game really was. Frankfurt really came into their own in the second half. If they put like that in the first, they would have won easily. But good performance from both teams, and that group's looked very interesting.
Definitely does indeed. And that is all of the action for the Champions League, Europa League and the Conference League done for this week. Match day 1 done and dusted. Of course, we can sit here and just have a quick look at the groups and that. I'm just seeing any standouts. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it, with the first match? Obviously, Lyon going top of Group A, Monaco top of Group B, Leicester second in Group C. Legia Warsaw top of Group C. Good for the Polish side. Just seeing anything else. Lazio bottom of Group E. Real Betis top of Group G. Good game that one was. And of course, West Ham top of Group H. But apart from that, we are done and dusted tonight. Don't forget, if you're new to stream as always, don't forget to leave a like, subscription on the channel. We've got loads of content coming up over the next few weeks. Obviously, we are done and dusted for the Match Day 1 Gold Show, but we have got more content coming up over the next few days. You can see Valencia against Real Madrid. That's on Sunday at 7:50 with myself, first versus second in La Liga. We've got Fiorentina versus Inter Milan. That's on the 21st September, 7:35. That could be, again, a belter of a game in Italy. And then we're back again, Champions League action, 28th of September, match day 2, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got all of the gold shows, all of the action, and hopefully much more drama indeed. If you are looking to keep an eye out when we are live on the channel, they are the links. Top Corner on Twitter is @the_top corner, and our Instagram's _sports corner _. Links in the description and in the chat as always. Thank you very much, Kyle, indeed. But as Kyle has summed it up, great day of football with loads of goals. Cheers, lads. Thank you very much indeed. It has been a very good day with plenty of goals. I want to say a big thank you to Kieren D and Rowan, because obviously we're a little bit depleted numbers-wise. They've put a very hard-working shift in. If you were on FIFA, 99 stamina for you both.
High work.
I wish I had that in real life.
Relentless. Well, thank you very much indeed. Greatly appreciated. As you said,
Josh.
we'll be back with the match day goal show 2 weeks' time. We should hopefully have Will and Kale back with us. More numbers indeed. But for now, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And I will see you on Sunday for the Liga action.